Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Today it's the 10th of November 2020, coming in a little bit behind schedule, 25 minutes past 5 in the evening, 25 minutes late. I don't even know where to start, guys. This morning I decided to have a big tidy up of my office, so I actually pulled my entire PC apart so I could give it a good clean, a bit of a dust out, which is what I was doing pretty much until about an hour before the stream. I then got everything ready to fire up X-Plane 11, as I usually do it 15 minutes before, and then two people messaged me to say, Microsoft Flight Simulator, they've updated it, so I'm like, oh no, so I've got to update that. So I updated that, and then tried to launch X-Plane 11 again, and then that crashed, and all of this led on to a bit of a delay here. Thank you very much to Quinari, he's just joined as a member. Thank you very much, welcome aboard, or should I say welcome back? I can't remember if you were a member for Quinari, but if you were, welcome back. If you're new, welcome aboard, and get invited to the members only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis in chat. So yeah, anyway, bit behind schedule. We're now finally here in Cancun in Mexico. It's where we actually landed the Airbus A300 on Friday evening. It's the third split sim stream we're doing, so we're going to be flying from Mexico here in Cancun all the way to the first time visiting Jamaica. So we're going to be flying into Kingston, flight time about an hour and 30 minutes or so, and then when we land in Kingston we're going to switch over to Microsoft Flight Simulator and fly to the other side of the island, Montego Bay, in a Cessna 172. All of it's going to be live weather, live time. You can see it's pretty inclement here in Cancun at the moment. We are on VATSIM as well at the moment. I don't think we have any ETC, but we'll have a look later on. Again, I have to say thank you very much to Windy Simulations for their copy of the Cancun scenery. You can find all the information about that in the video description below. We can use the command !scenery. It is a absolute cork of a scenery here. Now, not only that, we have taken out, I thought, because we're not too far from the United States of America, the special US Airways ZIBO livery. It's an absolute cracker. I can't remember which one of the members made it, if it was either MMUN or Jamlin or someone did, but it's an absolute brilliant livery here. Actually, I'll try and update Nightbot shortly to make sure that you can grab it here. We're over on stand 1 on the remote stand here. That's really cracking livery, isn't it? Have a look at this one. Alpaca Airways US edition, the Herd of America. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much to Poke777 who's just joined as a member as well. Welcome on board, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Enjoy your custom emojis in chat. And thank you very much. I've just realised one thing, guys, as well. I'm not full screen in X-Plane 11. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. I always go to the windowed simulator. There you go. So it gives me that nice little black bar at the bottom. So it doesn't look so bad then. It's a little bit better for the views as well. Fantastic. Very patriotic. Need to fly that to the US. I know. I need to update Nightbot as well so you guys can grab it as well. But yeah, it's a really awesome livery. Even though we're not in the United States, I thought we're not too far away. It'd be really cool to grab this livery today. Awesome stuff. Right. Let's jump into the cockpit. Couple of other things as well. I've broken one of my rules for streaming, okay, which is no updates before a stream starts. This is the latest version of the ZIBO mod, which I think was only just recently released public. I've not even tried it yet, so I think it's version 344 full, I think, or 344.4 full. So we'll, yeah, if things go wrong, which is very likely, it's completely my fault because it is untested, but I did promise ZIBO I would test this sector. All the scenery is installed, so that should work, but this flight I've not even flown, so fingers crossed we'll have no issues whatsoever. Mike Smith, are Alpaca liveries available for Microsoft Flight Simulator? Not just yet. It was by Callum Reed. Sorry, Callum. I can't remember who makes what and stuff. I only literally switched over to it just before the start of the stream. I thought it looked really, really cool to do that. Right, anyway, let's get the show on the road. So I had to also adjust all of my views because this updated the ZIBO mod. There's been an update to the flight model, which sometimes throws the CG position out of the way, which means all your views get reset. So I had to readjust all the views just before the stream as well, which also caused another bit of a delay. So batteries on, GPUs on the bus, electric hydraulic pumps are on, and we've got the landing gear lever down, which is 6 green lights, and then we check all the aircraft documentation. Let's do the fault and fire tests. There's the bottles. We've got a fault APU detector inoperative, overheat detector, and the master caution lights illuminated. There's the wheel well fire 3 Fire lights, engine overheat as well, and the fire warning light is also illuminated. Dylan, are you doing Cross the Pond? I am doing Cross the Pond, but I will not be announcing the route I'm doing until right just before the stream. I'll be starting the stream just before midday on Saturday. So guys, if you've not much to do, come join me there. I'm going to have lots of things planned, lots of quizzes. We're going to do some merch giveaways. Might play some Among Us on the way as well. This will be quite a long flight, about 7 hours or so. But yeah, looking forward to that one, guys. Awesome. And I'm actually flying the day after, which is even better. So it's going to be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to. Paul, anyone having FPS issues with ZIBO 344.4? I'm not. I'm getting 50 FPS here and about 80 up here. If I look at the aircraft. 80 as well, but I'm running Vulcan, but no, well, that's the first I've heard of it. It's all good my side. Right, let's have a look at our operational flight plan. So, would you look at that? I only printed this off SimBrief about 25 minutes ago. All the sixes, look, we got 6666. Now, there isn't any VATSIM events. I don't expect it to be too quiet. So, should we take a risk? Just take standard fuel today? So, actually, no, what's the weather like in Kingston? I think we're right on the edge of a hurricane. Actually, probably want to take a little bit extra. Yes, Cancun right now, not the nicest. Gusting winds, scattered low cloud, thunderstorms. Kingston, not so bad, but there is forecast CBs later on. So I'll tell you what, let's take 15 minutes, which would be 600 kilos on top of that. So 6.8 plus 600. Let's go 7.4 tons. That just gives us a little bit of wiggle room in case there is some disruption. So 7.4. Payload, the only figure I've got off the top of my head is the 170 passengers, which is a zero fuel weight of 58.8. I usually use this figure just because I know that's what the zero fuel weight's giving me, and it's a typical load that you get. Right, so that's done. Call for the fuel truck and zero fuel weight. Oh, I could tell he's definitely adjusted the CG because the zero fuel weight's changed. 57.9. Alright, well, it's on the conservative side. We'll go with that. Right, so we won't put the seatbelt sign on because we are refueling. There is the fuel coming on board the aircraft. Very, very good. Working our way down here. Let's test the attend button. That should not be saying 3 zeros. Let's do the cargo fire test now. That's looking good. Working our way out down here. I think ZIBO said he's modelled COM3, the observer's radio panel now, but I don't know what use that is because I think X-Pilot only supports 2 radios, but I'm not sure. Rotor on trim is set. Turn up the panel lighting. Manual gear extension doors closed and locked. Circuit breakers are in. Emergency escape ropes attached to the aircraft. I have to wait a bit longer for the stall warning test. There's the Mach airspeed warning test. Flight recorders tested. Nav on DC, and then a line. There we are, it's BBC breaking news. Flight Deck to Sim has started live streaming. Watch out. Oh, wow! I didn't notice this. We've got some nice Alpaca Airways headrests. That must have been Callum. I didn't even realise. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Might be some of the other. Welcome on board Alpaca Airways. Splendid. I didn't even realise that was there. Wicked. Right, so that's the preliminary safety inspection checklist. Let's double check, see what ATC we have. None. So we'll just use the weather here. I just have a quick look at flight radar. It looks like that they were using the westerly runways here. So I'm going to use 30 left for departure. There's 30 right available as well. We're in inches of mercury of 2969 here. So low pressure. That's set, so that should be indicating the elevation, which is pretty much sea level at 20 feet there. 27 degrees, so pretty muggy, and the wind is coming from the southwest, gusting up to 22 knots, 6 statute miles visibility, and scattered clouds at 800 feet. So not the nicest of days, but not so bad. Let's put the MFRA at 1030. That's set. Turn up a little bit of lighting here. A little bit of lighting here, a little bit of lighting here. Enter ice position. That should only flash up once alignment's complete, which isn't another 4 minutes. It's a little bit early there. So FMC, latest AIRAC installed. Let's bring up the operational flight plan. So we are in Cancun, Mexico. Mike Uniform November. GPS left coordinates. Let's pop those in. And we're going to Kingston, Jamaica. Mike Kilo Juliet Papa. Call sign today is Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. I've just realised it's very quiet in here. I haven't started the boarding. Well, let's start the flight leg and we'll open the door as well for extra immersion. Airstairs also extended. Just forgot to move the baggage trolley, but that should be okay. They can walk in front of that. Have we got our airstairs decorated? We do. Look. Oh, we've still got the old broadsword airstairs since we changed our branding there. Thanks for subscribing, Diogo Alves. Welcome aboard, buddy. Please turn on the heater, said B9, but one at 27 degrees? No way. Should actually reflect here at the outside air temperature. Look, it does look 27 because will actually probably be a little bit warmer in the cabin. Obviously, that's probably a bit too much of a stretch to model. It's the fact that it's a thin metal tube. If you've got the sun beating on it, well, it's not because it's cloudy, but it can be a lot hotter in the cabin when you first approach the aircraft than it is outside. So the weather QNH is set. Well, inches of mercury is set. Now we're just got to load up the FMC. So perf in it, no sorry not perf in it, route page, departures, so 30 left, it's going to be a Dumbu 1 Charlie, and then from Dumbu, Upper Juliet 5-2, and then it's going to be Iluba. From there, Upper Lima 577 to Mambi, and then Upper Romeo 640 to Sia. And that's actually the VOR for where we're going to be going, Montego Bay. That's where we're going with the Cessna in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's direct to Kesper. Now they're using runway 12 there at the moment. It's actually a slight tailwind, but I think that's the preferred landing runway there, but I am half guessing. So ILS 12, ELSA 5, Kesper transition. Let's go for that. Just see how that looks. So it's a DME arc for the departure. Oh yeah, it's still broken, the step page. I did tell ZIBO about that. So you notice here, look, when you step through it, if I step to the next page, look, it still says 1 of 6. It should go to now page 2. And then when I go to page 2, it jumps 3 steps. So there's a bug at the moment with the steps here. So we'll try again. Look, bottom here, it should go to it should now go to page 3. So it's not automatically changing pages. If I press it a few more times, it only goes to the third point, which is Oteco. It does appear on the ND at least, but that looks good to me anyway. So I'll execute that. Let's do the performance. So 0 fuel weight 57.9. Reserves for Montego Bay gives us reserves of 2.3 tons. Cost index will use 30. Cruising at 37,000 feet. Someone in chat would like to find out the sea level, or the elevation, sorry, of Kingston. That would be great, so I can punch it up here in the overhead panel. Go on, Jim. Go find out what's going on. Jim's our fictitious first officer at Alpaca Airways, if you're wondering. Top of climb wind is 268 at 10. Top of climb ISO is 9. 18,500 for the transition altitude, apparently. Right, let's go. What's the runway length here? I've got no performance data for Jamaica. Japan Airways doesn't fly out this far. Did I say that? We've got 3,500 meters. So I think at this gross weight, full 22k will be grand. So that's set, takeoff, flap 5, CG's in, 6 units, V-speed to set, 146 knots. Oops, 146 and 6 units of trim. Jill, is that the elevation? 303. I'll go with that for now. I should think it's a bit lower than that though, isn't it? Because it's right by the sea. I'd be more inclined to say sea level, or maybe Jill, your number means something else. Or 30 feet. Thanks, Anthony. I'll go with that figure. We'll put 50 in here. So that's all set. Executed that. 18,500 the transition altitude. Seems a bit high. But there we go. Flight Simulator, will you have the players on when you do the Microsoft Flight Simulator leg? I won't do, because I really don't want the 747s. I'll do those community group flights every kind of 3 to 4 weeks, but today it's just the members I'm going to invite along, just because I don't want jumbos and Airbuses. Well, I'm going to actually fly the second sector IFR. We'll fly under, like, in visual conditions, but there's an airway between the two, and we'll try and do an instrument approach into Montego Bay. It's quite difficult to do when you have jumbos looping around you and stuff. Right. Right, that's all set. Crossfeed check. There's no fuel in the centre tank, is there? There isn't, just 7.4 tonnes. Don't forget to close the crossfeed valve. There we are. We'll get the APU started. Flight planner updated to be off blocks at 45, which is 4 minutes from now. Fueling's done. We'll imagine the cabin's secure as well. Window heat's on, that's all set, trim air's on, auto, APU bleed is on its way, so that's all set. Runway heading then is 305 degrees. So yeah, stream-wise guys, today obviously, Thursday evening, I'm thinking of jumping in the A300 again. Absolutely love that thing. And then across the pond, guys. I did have a think about what aircraft to take, but I think I've got to take the ZIBO mod, because that's sort of the uniqueness of trying to get that across the pond. And it should be easier than the westbound sector we did 6 months ago, because we actually got the prevailing wind helping us there. No mention of a stop altitude here. Well, there's no ATC either, so I'll put our cruise level in, which is 370. 370 set, so out to 6 DME from the Cancun VOR, 13.6. So that's set, and what we're going to be doing then is flying a DME arc. So from 6 DME we'll make a left turn, and then we actually intercept the 9 DME arc. We'll actually monitor this as we go around. I'll show you what the automation's doing, and then when we intercept the 122 radial, that's the radial we take from there, Cancun to Dumbu. So what I'll do, I'll stick in 122 here. That's it. So for us, Dumbu 1 Charlie, climb on radial 305 to 6 DME from Cancun. You know what, actually, well, we've got 305 on the FO side, that's fine. Once we're there, make a left turn, 9 DME arc, intercept your corresponding radial. For us, that's the 122, and that'll be outbound to Dumbo, and then join the airway as instructed by ATC. Oh, there is a stop out, it was 3,000, but there's no ATC today, so I'm not going to level off at 3,000. We'll just carry on straight up to our cruise level. So that's it. Let's pop the APU on the bus. APU bleed is on. Order brake to RTO. Flight directors are on. That's all set. Reset the fuel flow. Pop that back to map. Over to legs. Trim with set. And that is all it. Perfect. Before I forget, should we close the air stairs and doors? There we go. It wouldn't be the first time we try to leave with everything out and extended. So retract, close. And forward entry light should extinguish. There we go. So doors locked. Before we start engines, we have to confirm all the lights are out there anyway. Right, so we'll get the better pushback organised. And whilst that's coming, what I'm going to do is update the livery command in Nightbot, so you guys can actually grab this livery. So it'll be pushback like this. We'll talk on Unicom as well. I don't like doing sectors I've not tested to make sure it's working.
Ground to cockpit. Canon knowledge. Coming through the menu when you are ready.
Oh, very good. Request pushback.
Ground to cockpit.
There we are.
Tower is driving up.
Right, so I'm just going to talk to Nightbot. Is it necessary to wait 1 or 2 minutes before using APU as a bleed source? You're right, Juan. Yes, at least a minute from able to providing AC power to wait. You didn't see that. Perfect. Right, let's just open up Discord here. You watch that view. My laptop's on a bit of a go slow today, so I've actually moved the PC on my up top of my desk now. It was under my desk.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed.
It's making a heck of a noise. It's whirring away. Right, where is that livery? There it is. It was the Ameripacker by, yes, Callum Reed. So thanks again, Callum. One of the many people who have spent their time to make a awesome livery for me. Thank you very much. So I'm just putting that under command for livery. There we go.
Start connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Wicked. So that's all set and working. So we'll just tune up Unicom and tell the guys of our intentions. And I'll show you where we are. Look, it's stand 1 here, just on the Bravo 11 off Terminal 2, and that is all looking good. So 1228. Let's just turn up the volume for VATSIM. Now why is that not there? Where's my X-Pilot client gone? There it is. We are on Unicom, aren't we? No, we're not. 22. There we go. And Cancun on Unicom. Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha's pushing past stand 1 for runway 30 left. There we go. So yeah, imagine we've got our pushback clearance, so packs off, anti-collision light on, parking brake, verify set at this stage, and transponder out off. Checks complete. Thank you very much, Adam Fox, for joining as a member. Welcome on board, buddy. Glad you joined the content. You get invited to our members only Discord as well. I completely forgot. I didn't even show you where we are. But yeah, thank you very much to you, Adam. So yeah, it's all over the sea today. Ah, look. So we've got to be a little bit careful. I've only just looked at the SIG weather chart. First ever time I've seen a hurricane symbol on flight plan for look at that. CB's up to 500 and 480. We're right on the edge of that. That's Hurricane Eta over the Caribbean. So yeah, we're just over the Caribbean Sea here.
50,
I think that's the Cayman Islands
30,
there. So that's pretty cool.
20,
And then onwards
10.
to Jamaica. Really cool. Who we got coming in here? Thanks a lot, Philip.
Hi Captain, glad to enjoy your stream again.
Thank you.
Been way too long, sorry about this.
And you may stand here.
Speaking of bug, have your FMCI mean in the real 738 already played tricks during flight?
Yes.
Fly safe, keeps streaming up.
Thank you very much, Philip, for your €11 donation. Very kind of you, sir, and I hope you're doing very well. Thanks for continued support. I have not had any issues in the ZIBO mod apart from the little step function. The one that comes to mind in the real aircraft, I was flying into Crete, and we're planning a non-precision approach, and then we were actually leaving the hold. VNAV stopped working, and it was to do with the FMC. Now, I can't remember the exact message that came up. Oh, look, I've only just realised, look, we've only just repainted our Alpaca Airways Jetley still left a bit of paint on the ground. That was quite funny. But yeah, we were flying a non-precision approach, and the VNAV stopped working, and it was an issue with the FMC. Essentially, what it did, it spat the cost index out, and it needs a cost index. And at the time, we weren't sure. The message that came up had nothing to do with the cost index. It's not something you'd usually change in flight. Now, because of where we were on the approach, we we'd already briefed for a non-precision approach, so all we did was switch over to using vertical speed. So vertical speed, we have my operator at a brief level segment before the final approach fix, and then we landed manually, and by the time we landed, the FMC was working. So that's the one here. I've not had a full FMC failure I've had one FMC failure, but not a full dual FMC failure, thankfully. Right, we'll start engine number 2. And thanks a lot, Phil, for that. It's very kind.
Cancun traffic, Alpaca 29er, taxi, runway 30 left via Bravo, Bravo 4, Charlie, Charlie 1.
Are those taxis?
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
I think he was just telling everyone on traffic. I'm not sure if that was ATC.
Connecting to
Right, I was too
standby.
distracted about that. Right, so at 25% N2, put the fuel in. Still love this, the ZIBO mod, guys. I love it so much. And whilst I'm off, you see, it's great to just carry on having it to practice like non-precision. To practice whilst I'm off, I've got a bit at the moment. Right, starter cut out, monitoring engine number 2. We've got 20. Hold on, my throttle wasn't idle. 22, 4, 3, and 6. 2 is stable.
Tower disconnected and bypass.
Good question, Captain Jack. Would the engine be damaged if you forgot to flip the start switch up? I mean, all the aircraft would do, it would stay on max motoring. So the mod, it stops around 25.6%. The real aircraft, it actually increases a little bit beyond that. See, look, it stops very abruptly here. I think that's ZIBO just slowing it down, but I think in the real aircraft it'll go up to 30%. You won't damage anything, it's just going to be running at max motoring. And in an aborted engine start condition, the only memory item is to move the start lever to cut off, and in some cases you actually leave the starter motor spinning the fan to as part of the checklist there. So I can't remember if it's the memory item is just the start lever, but off the top of my head I think you have to wait at least 30 seconds. So starter cut out, monitoring engine number 1, 2, 4, and 6 and 3. That's number 1, all stable. Wonderful. And there's the guy. He's already shown us the bypass pin. He's already cleared off. Oh, and just like that, he's done a disappearing. He's done a disappearing act. Right, let's do the before taxi flow. So generators on, APUs off, start switches continuous, probe heat on, anti-ice off, air conditioning, packs auto, isolation valves auto, APU bleed is off, and set flaps to 5. Flight controls. Full forward, full back, left, centre, right, centre. Here comes the rudders. Full. Now this is why we do checks, because I've just realised my power light on my rudder pedals is completely extinguished. Just imagine if I started taxiing now. Why is that not working? All I have done. I see. It should be working now. There we go. Let's give that a try. There we are, lovely. Full right and full left and recall, blank the lower DU, and that's the before taxi checklist complete. So yeah, what I'd done at the start of the day, guys, was completely clean my PC out, all the dust inside. I completely pulled it apart. I was a bit worried I wasn't going to get it back together, but I have one of those extenders for USBs with 4 different USBs that goes into one, and a little button I hadn't pushed in to activate it, but it is all working now. Cool. What was that? An isolation valve I almost heard. Very good, Toga. My partner did the checklist once and she did manage to say isolation valve. Perfect. Right, so we're going to taxi now to hold point runway 30 left. As we mentioned, unfortunately there's no ATC. We'll stay online at the network at the moment though, so it's going to be a left turn, taxi holding point Charlie 1. Cancun traffic, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha is going to taxi hold point Charlie 1, runway 30 left on Charlie. Right, parking brake released, clear left and clear right. No one there, let's do a config check. There we are, no takeoff config warning. And let's now go to Jamaica. Are you using the U version 44.4? I am. .4 new flight model with from Tim. Brian,
Traffic,
I hope you're doing well. Have you ever been in an altitude chamber to see the symptoms of hypoxia? I haven't, no.
Dumbo 3 Charlie departure.
I've heard it's quite a euphoric sensation, but that's the dangers of hypoxia and lack of oxygen. You don't know that you have a lack of oxygen, and as it takes away your mental capacity to be able to do any tasks, you don't know, and that's the dangers of it. So that's why we always have to respect cabin altitudes. I've seen a video online of people succumbing to the effects of hypoxia. I think I've also watched, was it, who here's seen that clip of Jeremy Clarkson? I think he did an episode once where he was doing it, and it was like they couldn't do, you can't do like simple kids tests, you know, where you have to put the shapes through a hole and stuff like that. Reverse Tech, have you tried virtual reality on X-Plane 11 Flight Net Sim? I haven't, no, I haven't. Not a fan of it personally, and as I primarily use the sim to stream, it won't be much benefit for me to do so. As I mentioned, the scenery is from Windsock Simulations by FS Sim Studios. That's actually the stand I was trying to remember where to park. Look, right outside where it says Cancun, Mexico. Yeah, it's a really nice scenery. We'll be sure to visit again. So we've got an aircraft taxiing out. It might give way to him. There's another Alpaca Airways already on his way to Jamaica. Timothy, I could do the shapes in the hole. Amazing. Sim seems to be running smoothly at the moment. 60 FPS. I did the members group flight on. Oh, that's cool with the aircraft departing in the background. Look at that. Yeah, we had a sim crash on my last stream on the members group flight. My first ever one in the middle of a flight I've ever had. I've never had one before. And as I said, this sector's untested. I keep tempting fate by talking about this, but I mean, if it is to crash, I'll probably just bump straight into the second sector of Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I'm feeling confident. Oh, that's very kind. I think he's giving way. He's in the old school Alpaca Generation 1 livery. Lovely. That mad dog is creeping around behind. I did see the MD-80 there. That's another aircraft rotator making the MD-11. That'll be really cool to stream. Right, we'll do the before takeoff checklist now. So the configuration warning horn we've checked, it didn't sound. Flaps we have 5, and the leading edge flaps are extended for the green light. Stab trim set for departure, which is 6 units. Takeoff briefing, the packs are in, auto bleeds are on, the V-speeds are set for departure, 39, 46 set. The SID we're flying is that Dumbo 1 Charlie. We're going to be climbing straight ahead 6 DME, and then intercepting the 9 DME arc from Cancun, and then intercept the 122 radial outbound from Dumbo. There is a stop altitude of 3,000 feet, but as there's no ATC.
Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha Taxi to holding point runway 30 left via Bravo 4 Charlie 1.
And we're gonna, that's very detailed, love it. We're gonna fly outbound to Dumbo, climb to our stop level, which is our cruise level 370. There is a hurricane to the north, that's something to be wary of, but the winds at our present location are within limits as well. Otherwise, all looking good. Imagine the cabin is secure. I'll ding the wing light, which is what triggers the cabin secure message in the ZIBO mod. And we're ready to go.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Thanks a lot, Dorothy. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream so far, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button as well. All those likes do help the channel grow. It's very, very good of you. We're up to 167 likes, 630 of you have popped in this lovely evening to enjoy this flight. I really enjoy flying further west of Europe as well, live time, live weather, because it's just daylight. And I love running the stream exactly to live time here. Awesome, thanks guys, up to 192 likes. Right, so we're all ready for departure. Just increase the scale here slightly and pop the weather radar on. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of weather around. That'll be the edge of the hurricane. And just make sure there's no one on final. Pop the transponder on a little bit early. You don't use TCAS as your primary way of spotting if there's traffic on final, but it's quite useful in a desktop sim. Looks all clear. And Cancun traffic, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, taking off runway 30 left. Perfect. So imagine we've got our takeoff clearance, entering the runway here. Let's put a little bit more thrust on. So throttle nav, transponder to TARA. So MCP is set, transponders to TARA, strobe lights are on. We've got our takeoff clearance, landing lights are on, checks complete. Do a little bit of a rolling takeoff here. And your toga's in chat. The engines do spool up quickly here in the ZIBO mod. We'll take it. Right, engines are all stabilised. Great at the centre line there. Well done. Says set takeoff thrust 93.5. Yeah, takeoff thrust set indications are normal.
80 knots.
Checked. Release that to forward pressure. Crosswind's coming in from the left. Later on into wind here. That is gusting up to 22 knots. Remember.
V1.
Those was trying to come up a bit earlier there. Amber Airport.
Positive read.
Gears coming up. There's active sky working. Look, the wind's gusted up to 12. It is good for that.
400.
Now nav.
Traffic, take off runway 30 left.
1000.
That's checked. Let's bug up. So I can already tell one of the things ZIBO's fixed is the low speed. He had a slight issue with the stall speed. Stall speed was quite high, especially in a bank turn, but I think he's adjusted that, which looks good. It's V2 plus 15, so we can select flaps 1. In and out the cloud. Flaps up. So pitch up onto the flight directors now. I think it's actually initially for this SID, I think it's a 210 knot speed restriction. Max 200 knots. So we're going a little bit fast here. In hindsight, I actually read it properly. What we should have done is held at flap 1 and just maintained 200 knots, but it's probably one of those restrictions you could just ask ATC, can we maintain 210, and they'd be, yeah, that's fine. So we're just waiting for 6 DME, 5.8, 5.9, 6, and now LNAV should start commanding a left turn. Well, it's a little bit delayed. I think the way LNAV's planned is just making a slightly steeper turn to intercept the DME arc. So we'll engage the autopilot now, so command VNAV set standard. I'm just going to bug 220 knots for this initial turn. Put that in at Dumbo. Execute now. VNAV should command 220. It is. That's working perfectly. So after takeoff checklist we can now do. So gear up and off. Water brake 2 off. Start switches off. We're in cloud, but the temperature's 22 degrees here, so we don't need anti-ice. So air conditioning and pressurization, 3.0 differential pressure. Cabin altitude's climbing. Auto. And set. Release the cabin crew. And that's it. After takeoff checklist complete. So there's the 9 DME arc. ZIBO as usual, absolute perfection. 9 DME on the VOR. And round we go. You can see here if we put the RMI onto VOR, once it's stabilised out, we should be kind of like on a continuous 90-degree heading. But the mods, the automation's far better and it actually leads into the turn, so the arrow is just slightly below 90 degrees. Thank you very much, Robert Middleton. Welcome on board as a member. Glad you're enjoying the content. You're invited to our members-only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis and chat as well. Thanks a lot for the support, buddy. Cool, so maintain 220. As soon as it's sort of heading in the right direction, then we'll accelerate to 250. Lovely. There's 100 for 370. Let's do the pre-cruise checks. Fuel 4 pumps on. And we have 6.8 tons on board.
50.
Runway 3.2.
30. 20. 10.
Thanks a lot, Passenger Escobar, for your £7.55 donation.
When you are rotating and pulling through the deadband, is that ground effect? What exactly is the deadband and what causes it?
Thank you very much, Passenger Escobar. Let me just do the pre-cruise checks. Aviate, navigate, communicate. Lights going off. APU's off. Pressurization 4.5. Diff increasing in set. Leave the passengers in. Recall. And there we are. That's the pre-cruise checks complete. So, Passenger Escobar, excellent question. To answer it, we'll pop ourselves outside the aircraft and I'll just turn the exterior sound down, otherwise I will deafen you all. Look at that as we climb over Mexico there. Absolutely wicked. So, obviously here's the 737.
Cancun traffic, Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha, line up takeoff from the 37.
As you rotate, the airflow comes over the wing, and then there's a little bit of a loss of airflow at the horizontal stabilizer, so there's a lack of pitch authority. And what the 737 has is sort of like a two-stage rotation. So as you rotate, you're at 0 degrees, you pitch up, and if you were to maintain that position, not make any input, at around 9 to 10 degrees, when you know the main gear comes off the runway, the airflow over the wing's being disrupted over the horizontal stabilizer, which essentially gives you a loss of lift. So to counteract that, we call that the deadband. To counteract that, you have to increase your back pressure, like the second stage of rotation. So there's a first stage, get up to 10 degrees, and then you'll get airborne, you'll hear the air ground logic go click, and then you have to pull back again. So it's like a two-stage rotation. And when you get good at it, you see it on the type rating, a lot of people stop at 10 degrees, and then you're just basically flying a foot off the runway, or the main gear's still on. You get better, and it becomes a continuous motion. So you rotate, you then pull back through the deadband, and the rotation rate is continuous. That's constant from 0 on the runway all the way up to 15 degrees at around 2 to 2.5 degrees per second. So that's what it is, and thank you very much, Pastor Escobar. I hope that makes sense, at least. Cool, right, there's 220. We don't want to do that anymore. So delete, execute. So far, mod is working very nicely, apart from the little step pages on the legs page, but that's a minor issue. 9.4 is a little bit off. Oh, I say it's 0.4 of a mile. It's pretty good. And we're going all the way up to 292 knots. And this radio will come in. Remember, that's the one we're going to intercept outbound from Cancun to Dumbu. Ivan's hey, evening everyone, just from work straight to watch live stream. That's awesome, Ivars. Thank you very much, buddy. Deep space, what is it on the winglet? You've got Callum to thank for. Look, it's an alpaca. Well, an alpaca unicorn, I guess, with that long spike, but oh, he looks wicked. What's that? That's nonsense on unicorn. James F. Timer's running, buddy. We're on the elapsed timer. Quinari, is this flight allowed with a non-ETOPS qualified aircraft? That's a fantastic question. I have not checked if there's any oceanic airspace in this part of the Mediterranean from here over the Cayman Islands to Jamaica. Let's have a look here on Navigraph charts. My operator, we're not ETOPS certified, so we can't fly the North Atlantic tracks, the oceanic routes, but we do have approval to fly on the Tango Airways, which run just to the west of mainland Europe over the Atlantic. It's not too far off, and we can fly those from to the Canary Islands, essentially. So having a look here at Navigraph charts, no, there's no oceanic airspace in this sector. You have, at the moment, we're with Mexico. Our flight plan, actually I might as well show you guys. There we go. Let's load our flight plan. There we are. Where are we? So one thing I've just noticed, just jumping back into the simulator here, look, it's overshot slightly, that VOR look. So what it should do, yeah, massively overshot it. So what it should have done is turn here on the arc, but it's basically crossed the radial at 90 degrees, I think, and now it's making that correction. So you can see here on the map it's even depicted it with that line look there. So yeah, not the most accurate. I don't know if that's necessarily a ZIBO thing or the way it's programmed by Navigraph into the sim, but what it should have done is turn prior to that radial. Now, what I think has caused that is, you'll find on DME arcs on approaches, there'll be a waypoint at which to initiate the turn. So I don't think that was the case. They just had from Dumbu. So basically they have a waypoint here, which will be programmed as, let's say it's 122 to intercept. Maybe it was like 128. There'll be like a waypoint here, which will say something like D1289 or something like that. And when it gets to that waypoint, then the aircraft will initiate that turn to intercept the radial. So I think that's what's happened there, because there wasn't a waypoint program there. So again, massively overshot. And just to help it out, what I'm going to do is route direct to HECAT, just in case we might not get it there. But yeah, that's a little, I don't know if that's ZIBO or Navigraph. It'll be interesting if someone else tries that in a different aircraft, and let me know in the comments section how you get on. I can't remember what we were talking about now. Yes, sorry, Oceanic. No Oceanic airspace today by the looks of it. We're in Merida sector, and then we're going over to Central America FIR on this airway, then Kingston FIR, so there's no Oceanic airspace I don't think in this part here. There is Oceanic here, the Gulf of Mexico, but this part of the Mediterranean is completely radar controlled, and then there's obviously New York Oceanics over here. So that must be the edge of Hurricane Eta, is it Eta? So thankfully to the north of our route, no factor, let's keep it that way. Did I say Mediterranean? Sorry, Atlantic. I'm sorry. Tobias, this must take so much time to learn. Never played this game, but it looks rather complicated. I mean, this is what's what I do every day. I mean, I joined as an airline pilot after 2 years of training, and still when you join and fly the Ryan seat, it's a lot to still learn, and I still learn stuff now 10 years later, every single day. Someone commented actually on my, who remembers the A300 INI build stream? I remember last week on their EFIS panel, you had to set the decision height to -5. Apparently the reason for that is it stops spurious terrain warnings on departure. So there you go. Even I learned something new. I was like, I say even I learned something new there. I learned something new all the time. But yeah, I learned something new last stream. So there you go. Did I say Mediterranean? You did, said Boz. Ben Lee's overshot because of speed above 250 below 10,000. That wouldn't have made any difference there, Ben. If I was doing 180 knots with flat 5, it would have overshot that radio requirement there. Same as you said, Quasimodo. Yeah, it's faster than perhaps is permitted, but by the way we overshot there, it wouldn't have mattered what speed we were doing. We would have definitely gone past that radial. In the real aircraft, it'll compensate for that as well. It'll rescribe or draw a new arc based on your speed when you executed the FMC. Yanis Augustin Arad, good evening, Captain. Is there a way of knowing whether to fly NADP 1 or 2 without reading the airport brief? Well, we actually have, my operator, a self-made document by the performance department which has all the NADPs we meant to use here. It is most of the time mentioned on the aerodrome chart information, but not all the time. I have a tutorial, but I'm sure you're happy with how to fly NADP 1 and 2 if you type in PMDG NADP noise abatement departure procedure tutorial or flight deck sim, that should come up there. But sometimes they'll say in the aerodrome information, we'll have a look here in Cancun's one. I mean, outside of Europe, it's slightly, information presented is slightly different. Yeah, there's no mention here, for example. So if you're not sure, default to NADP 2, which is to climb to 1,000 feet at V2 plus 20 and then accelerate to your clean speed. NADP 1 is the same, just up to 3,000. 2 tons of love, nothing like watching Flight Sim during your lunch hour. Hope all is well. Thank you very much, 2 tons of love, all good well. What are you eating for lunch? Everyone in chat wants to know now. G-Face 100 still haven't figured out if it's a joke, but Flight Deck Sim, do you use an Airbus side stick? I have, right in front of me, the Thrustmaster Airbus side stick. which replaced my Logitech Extreme 3D Pro, which again was a great joystick. I'd still been using it if first whilst I hadn't got in contact and set this one out for free. But yeah, it is a good joystick. Lots of different programmable buttons as well, and it does feel very good. Fabian, Marcy, what clouds do you use? These are Active Skies cloud textures. I do use Vivid Sky, but I don't use the Vivid Sky cloud preset. So, so it's just the Active Sky clouds. They do look good. FPS is 50. It's probably more down to the fact that I'm over the ocean as opposed to loading all those complex ortho tiles. Canary, what happens when you fly in the Bermuda Triangle? Ooh. Who knows? The big conspiracy theories going a bit off now there. Oh, story time. Well, I might do that story today, we'll see. Someone asked the history behind Alpaca Airways. I think that's been answered. Very good. Did he just say Mediterranean? I can't even remember what I said now. I think it was like when you fly to Mediterranean. I meant the Gulf of Mexico, I think. Is there a non-members Discord? There isn't, I'm afraid. You know, I have the private Discord just as a way to say thanks to the members. I don't think custom emojis cuts it just as a membership thing. So I run a private Discord for all the members, and with that they get we do the members monthly group flight. So I'm always there. My partner helps answer questions. I've got some good friends and other members who really put a lot of time and effort in helping answer the questions all for me, and I'm very grateful for that. Oh my goodness, some merchandise has been purchased. An anonymous individual has bought an iPhone case. Well, whoever you are, wherever you are, thank you very much. That's a superb case you have. Thank you very much. Or the Caribbean, maybe. Yeah, sorry, plainly. We're not even near the Gulf of Mexico, but I was talking about where the oceanic airspace was, I think. We'll stick with Caribbean. Oh, I didn't see what 2 tons of love, what you're eating for dinner. Chat got a bit busy. This is all I want to know right now. Stuart and Lindell love these 5 AM streams. The later ones are a bit close to my bedtime. I'm 44. The older you get, the earlier the night. Oh, we haven't summed up what you have for dinner. 2 tons of love. Tao, have you got an ultralight license? I don't, and my single engine piston rating has long expired. So yeah, I mean, it seems trivial to some people, you know, the fact that I have an ATPL and a type rating on a 737, but I can't go and rent a Cessna out my local flying club. I'd love to. A big part of me wishes I kept that current, but when I joined my airline, all I wanted to fly was a 73 initially, get as many hours as possible. Gain the experience, and back then I really didn't have much disposable income because of the flight training loan, so I had to give up. EMR, can the 727 cross the Atlantic? That would be a cool choice to cross the pond. I think it's a little bit too far for Emma. It's a gas guzzling tri-jet. It would struggle, but we are going to be taking the ZIBO mod 737. And again, quick reminders to everyone about cross the pond. Based on what happened on the last one being so busy, VATSIM have said, please, you know, feel free to use the network, but do refrain from flying across the Atlantic on the day and avoid the areas involved in the event, just because of the amount of traffic and stuff. So that is a request. So when I do post my routing, and this is VATSIM, you know guys how much I like you guys to join with me. That's completely fine on a normal stream, but if you see, I'm not going to say where I'm going until just before the stream. All I'm saying is don't join in and do it there, because the guys will be busy enough. And if you look at VATSIM across the pond, you'll see all those requests made by the guys there. It's going to be so busy. Cool. So let's have a look at the ETA. With no delay, we should be landing in just over an hour. 7:34. That's great. Tao, do you mind sharing how big your flight training loan was? No problem, Tao. I off the top of my head, I think it was like 85,000. Now, a lot of that money I saved myself. I've said it so many times. I used to work at a supermarket selling chickens, which everyone finds amusing. I finished school. I worked there, trying to save as much money as possible. Basically, still living with my parents, and then I saved up enough money for my living expenses, essentially. So they said, "Look, we'll get the loan sorted. We'll secure it against our house. You have to pay for your living expenses whilst you're there, though." So that's what I did. Ivar didn't get a booking this time. Don't think I like the lottery system. Yeah, I understand, Ivar, and I think it's just due to the numbers involved now. Across the pond there, I know smashed record. I knew it smashed records of VATSIM, and I've seen the popularity of VATSIM grow since I started using it, and other streamers are always using it too. So it's they're having to sort of, I didn't even get to, I've got a connection, so basically I made sure I could get involved, which is very lucky for me. But I had no choice of the routes, no choice of the time. I just saw if I just requested the slots. I got one of the slots I requested, not quite the time, but it's all good. Skin Spin, Bounper advises against becoming a pilot these days. What do you think about that? Excellent question, Skin Spin. I know the video you're referring to here. Listen, I don't want to dampen the dreams of any aspiring pilots here as well. The industry at the moment is in dire straits. It really is. For Bounper to have said that, I thought initially I was quite shocked. I was like, wow, that's quite something for them to say. But I think they're just basically saying what is obvious to everyone here. If you're thinking about becoming a pilot in the next 1 to 2 years and you haven't started your training, perhaps it's advisable to put it off. And I hate saying that. I cannot tell you guys truthfully how much it hurts saying that. But right now, I've been put it into perspective. I've got 10 years flying experience and seniority almost at my operator. I'm having to work part-time at the moment with blocks of unpaid leave in the winter. I was very fortunate at my operator to keep my job as well. I've got friends who are on the fleets in BA, the jumbo fleet. He's now been told he's off for a year on pretty much hardly any of his original salary. Won't get a type rating on another aircraft until 2021, and that's just things depending on things getting better. So yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat the industry here, and I know there's some guys here probably watch who are in training, and I hate to say it, it's not great at the moment, but it will, so long as there is, well, I see optimistically there's Pfizer, the medical guys have found something that's proven to be 90%. Well, I haven't read the full article yet, but yeah, it's yeah, as you just said, Sim 737 pilot. There's this Pfizer vaccine trial completion, but it will turn round. It will get better, just not for the next 1 to 2 years for sure. I think a lot of guys have lost jobs. A lot of experienced crew have lost jobs as well. I've got a friend who works at Emirates. He managed to keep his job, but he showed me a copy of a letter from one of his colleagues, which is basically told 12 months unpaid leave, just like that. I was like, wow. So yeah, that's it. Less pessimism, hey though, but and I hate saying this, guys, and I feel like I have a little bit of a platform here to say, look, if you're thinking about starting flight training this year, just hold it off for a short while. And for those of you in flight training, crack on with it. The opportunities will come round eventually. Just make sure you keep that license current. I think that a lot of simulators, and there's a lot of people helping out guys to stay current as well. So that's it. We'll leave it there. Right. There we are over the Mediterranean. I'm only kidding. So here's the Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico. Nice little sector here. There's Cayman Islands. And I did download all the ortho tiles for Jamaica as well. It's only 5 tiles, so it's all looking good. It's the first time in a long time I've done a stream which isn't around a VATSIM event, so pretty quiet. But someone told me there is actually some ATC in Havana this evening. But obviously very early for the guys here. Right now, what's the local time in Cancun at the moment? Not sure, but no, we do actually have Centre online, so we should get some ATC there. Ruben, the alpacas have gone to toilet again, not again. Thanks, Phone News. It's 1:24 local. 5 hours behind Zulu. Kurosh, when do you use the pause button on the EFIS? Not that often. I don't know if it's modelled. It's not modelled. I'm flying this weekend, so I'll try and remember to show you this. What the position button does, it shows you where the FMC thinks you are, the GPS and the IRS. I'll try and remember to do that this weekend. I'm flying on Sunday. My only flight in all of November is on Sunday. It's the first time, because we're in lockdown in the UK, so it's the first time I've actually flown during full lockdown. So it'll be interesting to see how the loads are, passenger loads will be. Brett says, evening captain, was going to join but dinner ran late. Oh no, Brett!
40, 30,
no.
20,
I hope you enjoyed your dinner.
10.
Everyone's having dinner at the moment. Thanks to Triple02 for the £2 donation again, and for the one on the group flight the other day as well. Hello captain, hope all is well. Have the chief pilot to come around. He sure knows how to cheer you up. Thank you very much, Triple02. It's very, very kind. Are you referring to Jack or myself though? Because Jack's technically the chief pilot of our Labrador. What's on the alpaca menu for lunch today? Says butterscotch candy. Butter sandwich. Cancun is in the Eastern time zone. It's 13:24. Oh, YouTube says I've gone offline. I think that just sometimes happens randomly. Hi guys, hope you can still hear me. It would appear... I think YouTube just threw a wobble in my end. It said I'm offline, but I don't think that's the case. Streamlabs is still happy. There we go. Quasimodo, I always wondered why all those crosses dotted around the different panels, like EX in the middle of the MCP left on the ouch, those crosses dotted around the different panels. What, these? Are you referring to the screws? Not sure, Quasimodo. Like left of the altitude knob. Oh, this. Oh, these little these little white pluses. Yeah. Now we had this on ours there. There's some on the overhead panel as well. I think it's to do with engineering. It's an engineering reference point. There's a plus there, plus there, plus there. No reference to ours. I think it's to do with engineering or something like that. Nothing to do with us. Got you now. Ikri 002, I meant Jackie is the only chief pilot around, of course. Thanks, Will. Wait, read you fine. Perfect. Phasian, how does the thermal affect an aircraft performance? Well, not to an amount where we actually have to make any changes, but obviously heat coming off the ground can have quite an effect on an aircraft. Even one like the 737 or a commercial aircraft, obviously a thermal strong enough for a glider to climb altitude here. On a very hot day in a 737, if you're coming over land or the sea, you can actually feel the updrafts sometimes, so you have to make the necessary inputs on the control column to stay stabilised. Stuart Lindell, nearly 600 watching and only 300 likes. Outrageous. Yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Wonderful. Jump and run, if you push on the plus, the panel lights up. Yeah, yeah. Jill, you flew the same departure in the flight factor A350. It followed incredibly accurately. Same climb profile, latest Navigraph cycle. Looks like a ZIBO problem. Could be, could be. Callum Holloway, do you think the only unrealistic thing about X-Plane is it doesn't actually look like the altitude you're at? Are you referring there to, I mean, this is accurate, but if you're referring to the altitude on the top here, that's referenced, I think, from, well, it's from Sim Toolkit Pro, and that's just referencing height based off standard pressure, so that's always going to be slightly off. Brett, you just started your night rating theory. Theory is much more interesting after PPL. Well, you've obviously got the core basics once you've done your PPL. So yeah, I never did my night rating, my PPL. I had just the private pilot's license. I was going to do it, but well, I decided to go to full-time flight training. It didn't seem much point, so I held off. Oh, Callum, no, the outside view, no, not in the aircraft. I mean scenery to the outside. I mean it's cloudy here, but it looks pretty spot on. Oh wait, where's my son? I need to get my sellotape reel back in here. It's still in the kitchen. I blame Mariana personally. Mariana is around today, but I hope she's listening to this. But she's going to have to listen hard. She's had to go to the doctor though because she's got got a bit too much earwax or something. So she's really struggling to hear. I think she pushed them down too far. Bless her. Hopefully she won't hear me say that. 5 Echo, you're doing a flight from John F. Kennedy to Schiphol. That's awesome. Oh my goodness me. Thank you very much, Hugo. I'm going to have to click on this here. I am a technician at Czech Airlines and this is a must-have. Thanks for my Christmas present. Oh, thank you very much, buddy. I just missed the rest of the message there. But thank you very much. Was that the red hoodie? I think it might have been the red hoodie there. That's awesome, buddy. Thank you so much for that. And, appreciate the support. Very cool. Because I click off the screen, look, you lose the pan view. There we are. Anthony Teal, brilliant use of emojis there. Mike Moo, when approaching decision height in IMC and not visual, do you begin to reduce rate of descent to avoid passing decision height before initiating missed approach? You don't do that, Mike Mimu. You just keep going the same descent rate. So essentially, you need to keep going. If you approach the decision altitude, you're not visual with the runway. Depending on what the approach is, what you're flying, is the point at which you must execute a missed approach. So yeah, don't start pulling up. Otherwise, all you're going to do is get very high on the runway, especially that close to the ground. Corey, where are you flying to this weekend? I don't discuss where I'm going in the real world. That's just respect my kind of operator's wishes and my wishes. So I don't tell you where I'm going. I'm flying somewhere in Japan. Cross the pond on Saturday. Flying in the afternoon on Sunday in real life. My only flight for November. RS Turbo, where does one eat one's dinner on a 737 without a tray table? Excellent question. On our laps, unfortunately. Cool. Jump around. Pushing the plus actually lights up the panel, no joke. Well, is that a ZIBO mod thing, or certainly on the real aircraft? Well, this doesn't do anything, look, not modelled. What a question, Captain Watson. Do you enjoy eating food on your lap? Well, I enjoy eating. Doesn't really bother me. It's not like on my trousers I get a little tray or something like that. Wicked. Right. Well, so far so good. Everything's running smoothly. An untested version of the mod. already. So just to show you where we're going. So there's Cayman Islands. There is Jamaica. So there's 2 international airports in Jamaica. One in Montego Bay, one in Kingston. We're going to be going down to Kingston. I was actually thinking of going into Montego Bay and then flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator to Kingston. We're actually going the other way around. The reason is in X-Plane 11 there is a free Kingston Airport scenery available, so I grabbed that today. And it looks a little bit better than obviously the stock one. But there is our runway. It's a really cool approach. And it'll be nice to actually compare how it looks in X-Plane to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Obviously Microsoft Flight Simulator being brand new, it looks obviously visually stunning, so probably will win. But X-Plane 11, if you still want to be flying commercial jet airliners accurately, realistically, with all the knobs, buttons and switches, this is the way you need to do it for now. But yeah, we're going to come straight on runway 12, small apron, and then we'll depart Kingston in Microsoft Flight Simulator in the 172, and there is actually an airway between the two off of VOR, so you know what, we'll probably poll it. I might ask you guys, do you want me to fly VFR close to the ground, or do you want me to fly the IFR, Microsoft Flight Simulator? Would you like me to poll that? Let me know in chat. I will. Look at that, nice, might be a hurricane nearby, but nice gentle 10 knot tailwind here, nice and smooth conditions. Warren Smith, your new PC arrives next week. Can't wait to finally get back into the virtual skies after a long break. Thanks for all your videos. I feel very ready to get immersed in flight sim again. Awesome, Warren. And I hope you got a bit of a beast of a PC. First time today. I'm not much of a technophobe, but every kind of 6 months or so, I kind of pull my PC apart. It's a Chill Blast custom built PC. Lovely glass sides. And I usually just give it a bit of a dust, but today I completely pulled it apart. So I took unplugged all the CPU has like a water-cooled CPU, like a self-contained system. The PC isn't liquid cooled, but the CPU has its own little liquid thing. I pulled that out, unscrewed it. I took the power thingy out. That just took about 20 screws. Pulled all the fans out, gave it a really good dust. So yeah, I've never had any issues with it at all, and it's a good PC, and it's nearly 2.5 years old now. And I was thinking of upgrading some of the cards, the graphics card, and the peripherals and stuff, but I might just hold on and just get a whole brand new PC end of next year, with the whole lot upgraded, with there, which I have a little kitty for, which I've been saving some of the donations and stuff. So I'm going to get a beast which will last us for at least a good few years or so. Jambino, do you always choose your meal first, or do you sometimes allow your FO to choose? We do have onboard meals, Jambo Neo, but I actually choose to make my own packed lunch because I know what I'm eating then. And also you get yourself very overweight and fat if you get eating the onboard food. So I just take my packed lunch like everyone else does. Hello, buddy. Jack's just walked in. Oh, hello. Come on then. Do you want to say hello? Up you get. This is the time where you wish I had a camera, don't you? Good. Okay. Good boy. Oh yes. Did you guys hear that? Did you just hear him go pop, 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 pop? He does that when he gets like rubbed on his chin. Good boy. Where's Mummy? Gonna go get Mummy? Go on. Oh boy. Yeah, he did give me a couple of licks on the chin. Free Maphatic, does anyone know why I don't have any scenery but only water everywhere? It sounds like you haven't downloaded the... I know in X-Plane you can choose the areas where you want to install and stuff. It sounds like you haven't got that installed. I'm sorry, that's the worst description ever, but that's all I can imagine it as being. Jack Cap at 100,000 subs. Maybe, we'll see. Devon Marcy, did you go to college? I didn't go to college, no.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks a lot, 2 tons of love for the £5 there. What's this said?
This is for Chief Pilot Jack, since I accidentally flew for Llama on stream the other day.
Yeah, I know 2 tons of love. I remember, guys. If you're new to the channel, I'll give you a very brief overview of everything. So we pretend to work for a fictitious airline called Alpaca Airways. It's great fun, and we have a whole fleet of aircraft. The story goes that we went alpaca walking, Mariner and I, my partner Mariner, and someone said that would be a great name for a virtual airline. It sort of stuck from there. And then 2 tons of love, one of my members decided to fly for our rival airline, Llama International Airways, during the stream. So I heard this call, so first ever time I heard Llama International. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you very much, Captain Monster. So if you see that link there, you'll be able to see some the flight crew induction course from our main competitor, Llama International Airlines. Please promise me all here in chat that you will not fly with Llama International Airlines. They've proven to be extremely dangerous. Very dangerous indeed, and I have to say a massive thank you to Lizzie Windsor, Queen Elizabeth herself, who actually provided the footage for the Llama International Airlines. You can actually see a link in the video description below from the outtakes from that film. Yeah, thanks a lot, 2 tons of love. That was brilliant. Oh, Captain Monster, did I say your name? Whoops, I meant someone else. Oh, Will. Sorry, Will said it. RS Turbo, are the CFM engines on the 737 pretty reliable on the whole? Extremely reliable, RS Turbo. Really reliable. 10 years now, and I haven't had any engine issues whatsoever. There's always the smallest of chances you could have an issue, but you know, most commonly it's bird strike or damage like that. But yeah, extremely reliable. Never gotten hypoxia flying with Lyre though, said Brandon. Yeah, we only once, what was it, we were flying the King Air in Microsoft Flight Simulator and decided to kill everyone. Carpool, does flying take a physical toll on you? What you've got to remember, Carl, is it's a job where you're sat down all the time, so it's important to, you know, stay active outside of work. I'll be honest, I'm nowhere near as active as I used to be. I need to be more active, but that's the great thing about having a dog, walking him every day. You know, it gets you out and about walking, but I used to play a lot more sports, which I don't do now, but looking to get into that again next year. But yeah, what I try and do on the long sectors, you know, we can fly to the Canaries, to the UK and back. That's 2 4-hour flights, so it's 8 hours sat down, you know, 8-9 hours sat down on the seat. I always try. It is completely acceptable to do. It's just stand up in the flight deck. You hand over control to your colleague, and just yeah, I try and stand and just stretch my legs for a couple of minutes on long flights there. You know, I wiggle my knees a little bit and just get the blood flowing. It helps. Just even standing up. I mean, most of you here probably have an office job anyway, and you know the importance of standing up. It's there. So yeah, you just got to make sure you're active outside of work. But things like, you know, I don't think there's any long-term issues. A lot of people are concerned about radiation exposure and stuff like that, but I don't think there's any known cases of increases chances of cancer and stuff like that. But I think even astronauts up there are obviously getting doses well in excess of what we get in a commercial airliner. But I know that we are monitored on cosmic radiation exposure. Working for an airline sitting at 37,000 feet, you don't really get yourself too limited, but I think the guys in BizJets, I think they can come up to the maximum exposure in a year if they're up at 45,000 feet all the time. But again, I'm not sure. I don't know much about it. It's funny enough, actually, I was talking about standing up. That's what I've just done for the last 2 minutes. It sort of reminded me to get some blood flying. Sit back down now. You're welcome, Carl. Quinari, the pilots of Llama International Airlines are flying like Flight Data Sim is flying an Airbus. Quinari, did you not see my -25 landing in the Airbus A300 stream? Don't worry about the second landing. Just look at the first one when we landed in Miami a couple of streams ago. Absolutely sensational. Thank you very much to Ivers M for the classic t-shirt. Oh, I said something pounds towards something. I'm so sorry. The only message I ever see is the one that pops up on the overlay. But thank you very much, Ivers, for that. It's awesome. I love it when you guys buy some merch and stuff. I got some. Someone bought some socks the other day, and I even had someone once buy the. A couple of people have bought the Flight Deck to Sim beach towel, and they sent me the picture on Instagram, which is absolutely awesome. Philippe, how do commercial pilots get paid in the UK, by day or monthly? Paid on a monthly basis, just like any other career or job, basically. 777, that's a name I've seen before. He says, how are you? Love your streams, keep up the good work. Very well, 777. I hope you're doing well too. And all is good, the Flight Deck to Sim household. Bar the lockdown, bar the fact that the industry is absolutely in abysmal state, but optimism is required. And, as I said, I'm just very happy to have a job right now, albeit only flying once a month, but so be it. But yeah, great, and I really enjoy doing these streams as well. Mariana really enjoys Discord. She helps run the Discord now and gets involved quite a bit too. Cool. Oops. I've just been told to contact centre. So 12540. Let's turn the music down slightly. Is it Jamaica Centre? How's it called? I don't even know. I've never checked in with these before. Oh, and I've shut off Navigraph charts. Let's have a look here. Kingston Centre. Kingston Centre, good afternoon. Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, maintaining flight level 370, inbound to Mambi.
Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, Kingston radar, squawk 6741.
Squawk 6741, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. Just realised I didn't have any pen and paper. 6741. Oops. Here we go. Oh yeah, we need to put some reggae music on really, but unfortunately I don't have anything in my playlist which is reggae based. If I play it on Spotify I'll probably get a copyright strike.
Delta 489 descend and maintain 15,000, K1H 1011.
I think if you look down here the volume knob should be working.
K1H 1011 down to 15,000.
So cool, that actually works now.
Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha radar contact for level 370 crossing the Bambi intersection. What's your Mach number?
Radar identified, current Mach number is .77, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha.
Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, increase Mach .79.
.79 at Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. So there's two ways of doing this. You can open the speed window, bug it up, or you can update the FMC. If it's a temporary speed, you can just open the speed window, bug 79. There are the Cayman Islands. My apologies, because I did not think about downloading an ortho tile there. And I thought it would either be cloudy, but yeah, it's just the stock default X-Plane 11 Cayman Islands, I'm afraid. Thanks a lot, Gabriel, for the $2 donation. Don't know why it's not pinged up, just spotted there. Greetings from Rio. Brazil, you're awesome. Well, boa tarde to you, Gabriel. That's my Portuguese exhausted. Thank you very much for that donation. I hope you're doing very well as well in Rio. That's fantastic. We've done one stream in Brazil, I think. We did Santos Dumont, the 1,300 metre runway. That was pretty cool.
Alpaca to drop Kingston radar squawk 6764.
6764, route to Golf. Kingston Center, good afternoon, Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha flight level
777, what is your standard of people you're having in your plane every flight? I assume way less than before with COVID-19. Yeah, 777, the loads are poor. Generally less than 50. Some of the UK destinations which came off the 14-day quarantine requirement, we had a bit of a pickup, but I haven't had a full aircraft all summer. Wowkid 778, I like the 737-800 better than the A320. Me too, Wowkid. Me too. Captain Back up high flight sim, how's it going? Hopping into your live stream before going to briefing and catch my flight. Is Alpaca Airways hiring? Lufthansa's picking up through the pandemic. Lots of love. One tango. Thank you very much, Captain. We do have some current positions at Alpaca Airways. The only requirement is that you have a mouse and keyboard. That's all you need. Gabriel, you saw the stream, the Santos Dumont approach. Yeah, that was a great fun one. I can't believe I managed to butter on that one as well. I don't know why the alert didn't pop up, Gabriel, as well. I must apologise for that. Does this sometimes. Yes, they are the Cayman Islands. But oops. It's just the stock X-Plane 11 scenery, I'm afraid, so it's just going to look a bit generic, unfortunately. It's a shame, because I should have downloaded it. Cool. Now, where is my pen? Because my pen stopped working. My uncle said there was 45 people on their flight, I think. Yeah, that's typical of what we've been seeing all year, unfortunately. But the issue, I think, with many people isn't so much it's the coronavirus. People want to fly. It's the restrictions that are imposed, especially in the UK. I mean, that's a 14-day quarantine requirement pretty much from most destinations now. Easier to land light or heavy? Good question, Ben Lees. Yeah, when the aircraft's light, it can sometimes struggle to settle down the runway a little bit. You have to check it a little bit lower, generally. So yeah, generally, and another thing as well, I mean, we're more used to operating a light aircraft now, but typically we're used to having generally quite full aircraft and the weights and handling associated with that. So when we switched over to flying a slightly lighter aircraft, it was a slight adjustment to your inputs. Lewis Hancock, what is the minimum distance of speed you can be at or below the red tape? Well, not at all, Lewis. I mean, you don't want to get anywhere near that, because that's the point at which stick shaker will come in and you'll stall. And it's based off your load as well, hugely on a 7.3. So if you're 1G level flight, depending on your gross weight, depends on what altitude you're at as well. But yeah, don't go anywhere near it, essentially. Hamza, how do you recover from a stall? Anyone in chat? What's the most important thing about recovering from a stall? Let's see if anyone here knows. Correct, Sim737 pilot. Nose down. Push down. Adam, you're even better. Angle of attack. Exactly. Crying. Unload the plane, blow your nose. Very good. Don oxygen. Don't panic. That's good, Brandon. Very good. Lowering the nose. The reason is to reduce the angle of attack below the critical angle of attack. Remember, you can stall at any airspeed. It's all to do with your angle of attack there. So lowering the nose is the main thing you do. In the 737, you disconnect all the automation. Lower the nose to reduce the angle of attack, and you do that until the stick shaker stops or the buffet or whatever made you recover from the stall there. Once you pitch nose down, that the wing's now producing lift again. Wings level in the 7.3, you will then smoothly advance the thrust levers depending where you are. If you're quite close to the ground with a lot of flapping gear and drag, you might have to put a bit more thrust on there. Make sure you then retract the speed brake. Don't change the gear or flap configuration throughout the entire stall recovery as well. You leave it where it is. And then to complete the recovery, you check your airspeed, adjust your thrust, set your new target pitch altitude, and return to your desired flight path, so where you came from, or a missed approach maybe, or something like that. But those are the steps in the 7.3, which obviously I just described, but you've got to do it like that. Oof. But yeah, essentially, nose down, wings level, add thrust. slowly and smoothly on the 7.3. Now the 7.3, like most commercial airliners, they have underslung engines below the centre of gravity. So when you add a lot of the thrust, the nose wants to shoot up, and the 7.3 is quite aggressive with that. So a lot of guys on the type rating, when they switch from, say, the Airbus or the 320 or another aircraft with the 7.3, when they set go around thrust quite aggressively, they're quite shocked at how quickly the nose come up, and actually in some cases they have to push down, nose down elevator to stop the aircraft nose from rising. So it's something to be wary of if you want to stall recovery. Now, I'm only talking in an entertaining simulator sense here. I must stress, as I do in all my videos below with the disclaimer, if you are pilot in training, be it private pilot's license, commercial pilot, do not listen to the guidance. Yes, I'm telling you what we do,
40,
but it's
30,
entertainment only. If
20,
that happens to you in your simulator,
10.
please follow those steps I told you. Thanks a lot, Tal, again for another donation. Very, very kind.
Hope you're
doing well.
vectors are never approaching.
Very, very kind of you.
Expect vectors for runway 30 down to 7,049.
No PMTG is not better, as evidenced by flight data sim not flying it since ZIBO released next plane 11. I've never said the ZIBO is better than the PMDG. The reason I use X-Plane and the ZIBO, which is a fantastic representation of the 7.3, is X-Plane has, in my opinion, better flight dynamics, weather, external factors as well. The PMDG is a fantastic add-on, and I just wish it was sort of available in a proper simulator. Now again, I'm not discrediting the ZIBO mod, because it's been fantastic seeing it develop, and to have something absolutely free
50,
for the community is what's
40,
important there.
30, 20.
2 seconds
10.
guys, it looks like Queen Elizabeth is coming again.
We had a family holiday to the Caymans once. Philly got absolutely munted on the local. Tipple and the boys tried to use a stamp as a proof they were royals to get into the trendy clubs. I stay by the pool.
I'm sorry, but can I just repeat that for the trendy clubs? I think I could do that there. There we go.
50,
Thank you
40,
very much, Queen Elizabeth
30,
II. That was
20,
very, very fun. Oh no,
10.
something else has just come in now as well. Thanks, Paul Clark. Oh, well, I'll just let this read it sing.
Exited 14 du Sol today after Rome went with fiancé. Totally worth it. Miss RGLR US EU biz travel. Stay
Got
strong,
you.
pilots and crew. Normality will return.
Well, thank you both. Firstly, Lizzie Windsor, who went on holiday to the Cayman Islands, which we've just passed. There's Queen Elizabeth's local jaunt, and Philip got absolutely munted on the local tipple, and the boys tried to use stamp as proof they were royals to get to the trendy clubs. I stayed by the pool. Wise of you, Lizzie Windsor. Thank you very much for the continued support as well, my lady. Paul Clark as well, thank you very much for the £5. Very kind. It exited your 14 days of isolation today after Rome. Rome weekend with your fiance, totally worth it. Miss regular EU and US business travel. Stay strong, pilots and crew. Normality will return. Thank you very much, Paul Clark. Not only pilots and crew, everyone who's been affected by this. So thank you very much, both to Lizzie Windsor and Paul Clark. They're very, very kind. Tim, very, very drunk. Have you ever had annoying passengers? You had to make hard decisions. The cabin crew are the ones that deal with those situations as well. I've never had to, thankfully, touch wood yet, step out to get involved. We're actually not told to do that as part of our SOPs and procedures at my operator, but the cabin crew are trained to deal with that. I have once not disembarked, but basically we were told that this person had done something in the terminal. How he'd even gotten through to the gates, I don't know, but he was about to board, and I said I don't want him on board because we committed an offence in the terminal. I said, look, he's only going to be trouble. So that's the most I've ever done. Murray Towing, greetings from South Africa. Love the stream, thank you. Would you consider doing a stream inbound into Cape Town? Have you ever been there? Thank you very much, Murray. We are doing our members group flight in South Africa next month, but I will do a public stream there as well. I might do one in the return sector, because I cannot believe it, I have not yet visited Africa. Well, I have done one stream into Morocco, but not visited any other parts of that wonderful country. Yet to also visit South Africa in real life as well. But yeah, we'll be visiting for sure very soon. I need to download the Ortho and go from there, but we'll be sure to visit. Thank you. Farron, is there a non-members Discord? There isn't, I'm afraid. Saved, do old aircraft like the 73 and 74 get software updates? I saw a video of updating a 747 using a floppy disk. Savesh, yes, they do get updated. The nav database gets updated every 28 days, for example. Whether engineers do anything with the eBay,
40,
I'm not 100%
30,
sure.
20,
But yes, when they do the nav
10.
database, that takes a long time then. Thanks a lot, Freckles, for the £3.
He attack, he protects C, but most importantly, flight deck 2 sim tell the story time to the effect. Story time from last stream.
Hey, thanks a lot, Freckles, the £3. Worth reminding me as well, the pingers, the voices for donation was lowered to £3. So if you donate at least, it used to be £5. If it's £3 via Super Chat or Streamlabs, it does the voice, the Microsoft Jeanette. But thank you very much, Freckles. Oh my goodness me, look how close top of descent is. What a shame. Right, 100 miles, I'll quickly tell it. So flight deck sim story time. All that is, guys, is something that happened to me in the past. I mean, Mariana would probably be the best one to say, because I'm trying to remember what exactly it was now. All it was I was having a bit of a nightmare dream in my sleep, and you know when you have those bad dreams or nightmares where you really remember it. I was walking by the side of a very shallow river, one you could walk through, and on the river there was a guy on a horse, and he had a face like a Dementor of Harry Potter, like just a face, and he started looking at me, and I felt myself being sucked in towards him, like being repelled in. Anyway, Mariana said I started slapping the bed or waking up, and then all of a sudden I hear this noise in this dream, and I wake up straight away, and because I was delirious, and I was half asleep still, Marianne decided to record this, and what woke me up was a TikTok video. She was watching a stupid TikTok video, and because I was half asleep, I didn't understand what was going on. She recorded me talking, and I just said, "Thanks for waking me up." I said something along the lines of "Thank you, TikTok," and then fell asleep. That's all it was. I don't know the exact words. Mariana will have to come in here to rephrase the story slightly, but it was something along the lines of that. I was half asleep. She recorded the audio.
490 to maintain 5,000. Depart Mountain and present heading.
Share the audio. Yes.
Present heading,
You cannot share the audio from that. I might do on the next stream. No, because I'm half asleep. It's not fun. I don't want upwards of 550 people hearing me what I say when I'm half asleep. No, they don't. Mariana has a habit of filming me and making me jump. So basically, unfortunately, you'll never see it, but she'll probably make a what do you call it? A compilation. It'll be about 25 minutes long since I'm moaning. It's unbelievable. Put it on Captain Jacket is on our Discord at the moment. I'm not putting it on any other public profiles. Right, anyway, guys, approaching 100 miles from top of descent. I think it's about time we start setting up for our approach into Kingston, Jamaica. So, arrive with 3.3 tons. Ooh, good on the fuel. 250 below 100. Yes, we do. Forecast. So let's pop the descent winds in. So yeah, we've handed control over to the first officer.
Control aircraft information. Alpha is current at Mountie.
What's that? How's the music volume, guys? Just turn it up ever so slightly, so I hope it's not too loud. $10,000, 180
Delta 490 to Sun, maintain 2,000. That's 2,000, that's 490.
And is there any ATIS available? Oh, we do actually have an ATIS. Let's listen. I generally don't grab the ATIS. It's so busy on frequency, and it's something the pilot monitoring would do. But we can actually grab it here for Kingston. Mike Kilo Juliet Papa 127.7. We can listen to on box 2, so we don't actually go off the radio.
Bucket tree, Papa Mike, resume normal speed, descend and maintain 15,000, QNH 1011.
Not coming up.
Norman Manley International
Well, it is, but it's very quiet.
Head time 1800. We're going to have approach and use runway 30 and use transition level 180.
I think he said runway 30.
6 knots visibility 10.
Turn the music down here. Hold on.
Kingston Center, good afternoon. Combat
Great.
2105.
Thanks a lot. I'm just trying to grab the 80s.
QNH 1011 advised on initial
1011.
contact. You have information now.
Bravo 2105, Kingston, radar contact level 3501, 100 miles from the Arnold intersection. Due to route 10, E+L is required 340 or 360.
Norman Manley International Airport.
Oh my goodness, mate.
Time 1800.
5 maintain calibration.
Approach and use. Runway
325 or 360. Combat 2105.
Oh my god,
0
Copa.
degrees of 6 knots visibility, 10 kilometers. Clouds. Few clouds at 2200 feet, temperature 302.24. QNH 1011 advised on initial contact. You have information, Alpha.
Right, I missed the cloud base, but it's
For charge
so hard to hear. The volume's working, but
Bravo 3 Kilo Alpha, offset 10 degrees to the left for spacing.
10 degrees to the left for spacing offset Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha.
yeah, turn that down again slightly. It's better. Right, so we've got the QNH of 1011. I guess they don't use inches of mercury in Jamaica, 100% sure.
49, turn left heading 040. Left heading 040, that's 49.
So that's set. Thanks a lot, Sib77. 2,200 foot cloud base. Well, I could just look at the metal, to be fair. So descent page is in. It's not going to be runway 12 then, so it's going to be 30. So let's have a little look here. So it's going to be. I think that's only RNAV approaches available. That's fine. That'll be something for us to have a look at. So, all the ILSs are 1-2, so we've got an RMP approach. Hold on, I've got the wrong airport. Huh? Oh, Mike Hewlett Jet Papa. That's better. So an Elsa 5 is still the same arrival. Approaches available then. We have an RNAV approach or a VOR approach. Let's go for the RNAV, and it'll probably be via Marag or Vectors. The other approach available is VOR. So we've got a VOR approach again via Bivma. It's up to you. I can do VOR, RNAV, makes no difference. We use the FMC regardless. Both of them go via. Well, they go slightly different.
49
So.
left turn direct Avro, Alpha Victor Romeo Echo Lima. Clear RNAV approach runway 30 maintain.
So they're doing RNAV approaches there. Let's do the RNAV approach via Marag, I guess. So 17 DME arc terminates at Elsa basically. From Elsa to Goodil. Hold a Goodil unless cleared. And that's all the arrivals are based off a straight in, unless the other star suits that. It's the Kano arrival. Same pretty much. Alright, so what we'll do is
Alpaca 3 Papa, Mike, speed cruisers are not taking
Elsa 5. So only selects us. Interesting. So VDM RNAV 30.
17,000, QNH 1011, reduce speed at 260 need descent.
It's got Bado or Dusil.
Descend to 17,000,
So
QNH
divide Dusil.
1011 and reduce speed to 260 when
After
descending
Dusil.
up
So
a
what we're
bit.
going to do is after our flight plan terminates. It's always, here's a good thing to remember as well, if you're not sure what runway you're planning on, always plan in for the one that's straight in. Obviously this one's a little bit further, but that means we've got a little bit longer to change and set up the descent. So we're going to Kesper, and then what I might do is put Elsa in, and then Dusil.
American 109, Kingston radar squawk 6754. Delta 49 and winds 2506 knots 1830 clear to land.
That looks better. That looks something like that.
Clear to land.
And Elsa, you know, is still pretty much on the same arrival, then we can turn off. So we've still got 80 miles on top of descent now, you see. No, it's saying we've got a restriction at Dusil to be at above 9,000. Is that going to leave us high?
Mexican 17 Kingston radar.
It is 700 feet high. So that is a correct message Steve sent after Dusil. That's because ideally we want to be at whatever that altitude was. I can't remember now.
Information Bravo is now current at Manley QNH 1010.
Is that our destination? Yeah, 83, so that's holding us 700 feet high, but if that is the restriction, there's nothing we can do. You can put 220 knots, bring the speed back at that
100 miles from Manley.
restriction.
Maintain 15,000 QNH 1010.
And Dusil, yeah, it is 9,000 or above, so what we'll do at Dusil, top tip for you guys, 9,000, as we said, 8,300 now. If we're at 250 knots, that means instantly we've got to lose 700 feet after we pass Dusil. So one thing you can do is bring the speed back at Dusil. That means when we get to that restriction, 9,000 feet above and we pass it, will then instantly be 700 feet high on profile. But because we brought the speed back, we can then exchange that potential energy into kinetic energy, re-accelerate back to 250 and then recapture the profile. So that's a top tip for you. If you have a restriction that leaves you high, bring your speed back for that waypoint. And it'll still say steep descent after Dusil. That is a correct message. Right, so on our approach then, we're going to be routing in via Elsa. At some point though, we'll probably get a direct to the point to the south, Dusil, Marag, maybe even Bottle. We'll have to monitor what ATC is doing to other traffic and then build our profile off that. We're then going to intercept the RNAV approach via Wasot, which is at 3,000 feet. Wasot at or above 3,000 feet, which is where my beloved fix rings in. I hope that makes sense, guys, with the speed. You know, it's if you ever find yourself, and remember, stars aren't necessarily designed for continuous descents. They're designed due to airspace and other constraints, so you have to just comply with them.
Alpha 1 Juliet Alpha, descend maintain 15,000, speed 30 knots in descent, QNH 1010.
Descent altitude 15,000, QNH 1010. Just confirm the speed and descent, Alpaca 1 Juliet Alpha.
300.
300 knots on conversion, Alpaca 1 Juliet Alpha. So obviously we can't do 300 knots now, so we're going to push out into vents. We're a little bit early, so I'm just going to go VS 500, and I'll leave the speed at a Mach number. And as we descend at a fixed Mach number, our indicated airspeed will increase. As soon as we're at 300 knots, we'll change over to maintain 300 knots there. Yeah, a bit early, but top of descent in chat. We'll carry on with the rest of the setup. So 200 knots at Dusil. Non-precision approach then, coming in via Wasot. The final approach fix is actually at Avril, and it's important to check that altitude, so 2,000 feet. Avril, there it is, 2,000 feet. Now, FAFs on a should be a hard altitude. So if I delete that temporarily, it should delete the speed as well. It's having a little bit of a think. Probably won't let me modify it. I'll leave it. It will be very close to that anyway. So coming in via Dusil, Botot, Wasat, Avril's the final approach fix, and then we're going to descend on a 3.05 degree path, which is there, coded in the FMC, so it's very important on an RNAV approach to make sure that glide path angle matches. Pappies left and right, only LNAV minimum here, so if you have LNAV, VNAV minima, if you have a VNAV, you have to use VNAV as your descent mode. LNAV is a lateral navigation LNAV. You can still use VNAV as your descent path. 9999 high? You having a laugh, ZIBO? 159, that's broken. Why is it saying that we're 9999 high? That is not correct. Yeah, ignore that. So LNAV, you can still use VNAV as the pitch mode. It's absolutely fine. but this also permits you to use another pitch
Alpha
mode,
3 Papa Mike,
like vertical speed.
departure
So this is a
heading
non-precision approach. At my operator, we add 40 feet to
115.
this, because unlike a DA on an ILS,
Radar vectors for the RNAV approach runway 30.
you cannot go below this altitude. So we add 40 feet, so if you have to go around at minimum, the aircraft will continue descending for 20 to 30 feet. You don't actually get below this height. So that's very important. So 390 plus 40 is 430 feet. I don't know why ZIBO's saying we are so high. That is broken. 3 times height, that's all you got to remember. Ideally be at 45,000 feet to commence our descent. So that's it. We'll talk about how we're going to fly this approach as well. Let's set now. It's an RNAV approach. There's no frequencies to tune, but we'll set the final approach course as well. Again, there's absolutely no requirement to do this. It's just more a tactile,
American 109, route direct Manley VOR.
tactile reminder. Is there anything we can tune? Let's tune the VOR at Manley, which is 15.5. At least we've got then something to use, but bit of a threat here. Make sure when you're on the approach you don't use the DME off the VOR, because it's an RNAV approach. You use the distance from the nav database. So you'll see here the VOR distance is here. Do not use this for an RNAV approach. Use this distance here. That's really important to remember. So creeping up to 300 knots. Right, so how are we going to fly this approach? Vectors, by sounds of it, although traffic's getting completed, but once we're established, we'll make sure we have flat 5 by 10 miles. 2 miles before Avril will start configuring for the descent, so I'm going to set an altitude of 500 feet on the MCP, which we can't set lower than that. Verify I have VNAV engaged. We'll call the final approach fix at 6 miles, then configure gear down flat 50 around 4 or 5 miles. We'll use flat 30 today. And that's it. For RNAV approaches as well, you need to make sure the FMC is dual equipped as well. RMP, verify it's 0.3. It's 2 at the moment because of the phase of flight, but that will change to 0.3 on approach. That's it really. Let's have a look at the runway. So, have to vacate to the right, 2,700 metres, plenty long enough. We'll aim to vacate at Bravo, that's the second high speed. It's going to be about 2,000 metres or so, so I'm going to go flap 30, order brake 3. That's a ton of fuel to burn.
Alpha 18 Juliet Alpha, by the way, what weather engine are you using?
We're using Active Sky.
Okay, that's interesting. Currently, because that was behind you, they were slower, but they somehow managed to catch up.
Ah, okay, maybe his FPS, not sure.
Okay, roger.
Yeah, so it sounds like someone's managed to go faster or something. So yeah, a ton to burn. Oops, just make sure I didn't change that. So it'll be 60.5. Probably going to burn a little bit less than that. We are still far out. Flap 30, order brake 3, second detent reverse, and we'll vacate at Bravo, taxi onto stand. There's quite a few stands to choose to. It's quite an old freeware scenery. It's in the video description below. But that's it. Only issue is, I hope VNAV fixes itself, because we might be flying this at vertical speed. But it is an LNAV approach. We can use VS. If that happens, all I've got to do is make sure we level off at 2,000 feet, at least 2 miles before the final approach fix. And then we set our vertical speed according to our ground speed. So if we're doing 140 knots, we'll set 755 feet per minute. But we've covered for that in case the mod's still broken by the time we get there. Cool. If you have any questions about that briefing, let me know in the chat. We're probably going to end up a little bit higher with this profile because it does take us all the way out to Marag. As soon as you get vectors, though, I will update to bottle. Don't forget as well, guys, after we've landed, I will take a 10-minute break, and then we will be doing a sector in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Quickly jumping up the aircraft from Kingston all the way across the island to here. That's where we're going to be landing, guys, in Microsoft Flight Simulator. In I can't remember what it's called now. My goodness, where's my notes? Montego Bay, thank you. Right, going up to 300 knots, going as fast as we can.
Papa Mike, reduce speed 250 knots. Alpaca 29er, yourself, 250 knots.
250 knots, Alpaca 29.
So approaching now, top of descent point, 115 miles, probably 110 with that shortcut. 330, I think it's a good time now to start descending with idle thrust and level change, ignoring VNAV at the moment because that is bugged. So level change, remember that idle thrust
came in pretty low there.
with the auto throttle, and then you aircraft's pitching for a speed. Cool.
We're going 431, is the indicated airspeed.
Looking good, the ortho here, this source here, Bing Maps. Looking really nice. It'll look probably even better in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I have to still say at high altitude ortho looks really good.
I meant indicated airspeed, so not ground speed.
Yeah, so if ever ATC wants to know your speed, it's always indicated airspeed, they don't want to know your ground speed.
No, that's your Mach number, indicated airspeed.
Uh-oh, someone's having a struggle there. Zaliman, can we see your face? Oh wait, where is it, guys? Every time this is asked, I will show you a picture of me. Hold on. Oh, it's... where is it? There we go. First, no, second ever face reveal. Here we go. There you go. So quick. Don't blink. I can hear my own voice. Who's playing my stream in the background? And who was a block mic?
2 Kilo Alpha, open mic.
2 Kilo Alpha.
Southern confirm the speed for Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha, was it 230?
My apologies, 250.
250.
Oh look, I'm not concentrating, look, so we should be doing 300 knots now. On conversion, as we maintain that Mach number. Aircraft's responding very nicely in pitch.
Speed turning off course there, fly heading 190.
Uh-oh, someone's flying off course. So I keep updating the FMC, but yeah, it's still saying we're that high, but 100, we should be around 30,000 feet. If anything, we're a tad low on the profile. Damn, you're handsome, said multiple by 0, I know. Well groomed. I noticed the execute light's a bit dimmer. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's probably a tad brighter, but during the day, it's not so much. Right, there is VNAV. VNAV's just come alive now, but massively catching the profile up at 300 knots here.
Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, expect radar vectors for the RNAV approach runway 30, fly present heading.
Vectors for the RNAV approach runway 30, and just confirm maintain present heading.
Apron.
Maintain heading 140 degrees, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. So heading select.
American 109, descend and maintain 5,000.
So what we're in the vectors now, what I'm going to do is just route direct to Bottle, which is probably going to be the most accurate. Waypoint there. Let's see if that helps VNAV out. Execute. Yeah, still saying 7,000 feet high. 714, 21,000 feet, 23. I'd say we're about maybe 1,000, 1,500 feet high, not 7,000. This is a bit off.
19 at Kingston radar. Mexicana 17 Kingston.
Mexicana, where are you? So we'll keep it in level change because VNAV's just a little bit off at the moment. And is this RMP and AMP deviation? No, that's something very different. RMP is required navigational performance. It's an amount of accuracy that's required where the aircraft needs to know its position with all of its aircraft systems. We have no control of it over its flight crew. And the AMP can't exceed the RMP. AMP is an estimated position of the aircraft, where the aircraft thinks it is, using GPS, IRS, conventional navigation as well. Not to be confused with cross-track error, which is something else which you need to make sure you have on an approach. I'll try and explain it. It's a fantastic livery. If you'd like a copy of Callum's livery, one of the members who made this, use the command !livery as Nightbot is advising. Speed 250 knots, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha.
Kingston, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, descend and maintain 9,000.
Descend and maintain 9,000, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. Great, have some ATC, 9,000 feet set. And again, I'm not using this at the moment. 58 miles, we've got 60, 12, 18, 19, 7. Again, maybe a tad high, but that's something we can easily recover with speed brake and flaps. Again, that's if I'm routing direct to bottle, which I'm not. I'm actually going a little bit to the south of Jamaica at the moment. I have a really early decel point.
Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha, descend and maintain 11,000, expect radar vectors.
That's very early. It's a little bit broken here as well. So you see descent 250 to get to bottle at what speed? 225. It doesn't take, what's that distance wise? 10, 20, 30. No, 10, 20. It doesn't take 25 miles to reduce 25 knots. This decel point should be here. It's all the way back there. So yeah, something's a little bit, VNAV's a little bit off today. Oh my goodness, still on standard. Still testing you guys. Kieran Proctor, well done. You win today's prize of making sure that I set VNAV. Fly slope by turn on, which gives me the guidance I expect at my operator. Actually, VNAV's probably showing me a little bit more accurately as per my profile, so I'll bring the speed brake back now. 5, 10, 15, yeah, right, that's about right now. VNAV's about where I'd expect it. We're about 3,000 feet high. Bank angle, yet just testing it. Simon Lumens on the next light, Cessna 172. IFR, yeah, I think I'm going to fly IFR using a flight plan and conventional navigation. I think it's more fun, and it's a nice day here, so we can enjoy the scenery whilst flying instrument rules, so it's a bit more fun. Everyone else forgot that. I don't kick my gap, but to be fair, the QNH is quite important.
American 1819 at Kingston.
Good. Yeah, so VNAV's a little bit more accurate now. 50 miles to go, 15,000 feet would like to be at. Whereas 16, so around 1,500, 2,000 feet high, saying 3,000. So at the top of descent for the first kind of 10 minutes it was way off. Now it's a little better. Captain Bagoff, how many languages can you speak? One, I'm afraid, and embarrassing to say.
Alpaca 3 Papa Mike, left turn, direct Wasat, the cleared on approach runway.
Where did he get direct to? Wasat, perfect, so we can expect that later. And when I switch over to Microsoft Flight Simulator, guys, there will be a 10-minute break there because I just need to set a few things up. So do take a quick break as well. I will be as too. But actually,
Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, turn left heading 125.
Left heading 125 degrees, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. So this is the third split sim stream we've done. And we started off with the last two, Microsoft Flight Simulator, then X-Plane, but I think this is far better because X-Plane 11, the commercial jet streams, it take a lot more organising, a lot more setting up to make sure everything works. Whereas Microsoft Flight Simulator GA, you just have to fire the sim up. So I think if we do a few more of these split sim streams, we'll start off in X-Plane 11 first. But guys, the feedback I got from the split sim streams last year was very good, and I just thought, what would be a nice stream to do? And I was just going to do the ZIBO this sector, and I thought, no, I'm off, let's just have fun and do a split sim stream. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below after the video. You know, say, no, I don't like the split sim streams, or no, do more please, let me know. Thanks for subscribing, Daniel Brocco, welcome aboard, buddy.
Left heading 120, Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha.
Alpaca 29 direct Wasat, cleared on approach, runway 30, maintain 3000.
Jacob, Koltakuts, welcome, to Poland, good day to you, sir. Raptor UK 100, have you remembered to patch Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 today is patch 6? I did, thank you very much, and that's thanks to someone in chat and one of the members as well, and thank goodness I'd done it, but that's why the stream was delayed by 15 minutes, because I had to update it. I had X-Plane 11 all fired up, ready to go.
Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, descend maintain 5,000 feet, 200 knots.
Descend, maintain 5,000 feet and speed 210 knots, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. So we can stow that speed brake now. Bring the speed back to 210. But yeah, I literally fired up X-Plane 11 and someone said Microsoft Flight Simulator's been updated. I was like, oh, thank goodness you told me. Yes, it was a pain, but so I had to shut X-Plane 11 down. And I was literally loading into the sim. But that means I had to shut it down, open Microsoft Flight Simulator, update it, which it did. I opened up the sim as well, so it is all ready to go. Then I opened up X-Plane 11, that crashed on open, so I reset the PC, which seems to have fixed it. So yeah, all good. 4 pumps, pre-cruise, post-cruise checks now. 4 pumps, fuel we have 3.5 on board, lights are on, logo's not required, APU's off, pressurization, diffs 2.0. What? That's broken. Cabin rate of climb 4,000 feet per minute. Cool. Your ears would be popping now. You'd be in a lot of pain. ZIBO, what's going on here? Your ears would be... I mean, it's okay, but we're below 10,000, but look at that. That's climbing at 4,000 feet per minute. Where's the outflow valve? It's completely open. Your ears would be burst now. Like, it would be really painful. It could be a random failure. I do have random failures for X-Plane turned on. You know what? That could be the case. But seeing the outflow valves just driven to full... Well, that was very lucky if that's the case. Wow. Yeah, that was... Outflow valve open like that. Basically, look, the aircraft's now completely depressurized. Look, the aircraft is now depressurized. Look, diff pressure 0. And the present altitude, 8,700, is what the cabin altitude says. So had that happened 5 minutes before, I mean, you can control it manually if you go to manual. Let's try and close the outflow valve. I reckon X-Planes... I think X-Planes depressurize me. Look, I have the outflow valve completely closed, but the diff 0. Can someone remind me at the end of the stream how to check the X-Plane random failures? Because I have no pressurization control whatsoever. Left heading 060 degrees, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. Wow, that's very interesting. I mean, at this altitude, no issue, but you would have 100% felt that. But the aircraft is... I'd have got a huge... Have I opened a door or something stupid? Damn.
FN 650, Kingston radar.
Hey, well.
Contact level 4019 miles from the connects into...
So that is just pure luck that I'm bang on the VNAV profile. No skill whatsoever. Of course it was. But yeah, I've just basically controlled the descent in level change to ensure I'm on the profile. I'm confident that VNAV profile is accurate. 30, 27 miles to go plus slowing down. 25, 50, 75, yeah. So I'm going to use VNAV. Well, not just yet. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait a little bit longer first. Wow, look at the terrain of Jamaica. I had no idea it was so mountainous to the southeast of the island. So just going to watch our speed here, actually, because there's traffic just 7 miles ahead of us. I can group direct to Wasat, Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. I'm just going to wait a little bit though, just because of the spacing with this guy. Good job by radar, look at that! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go direct Wasat now. Execute, that might be a little bit high on profile, it is. So I'm going to go flap 1 now, and I'm going to bug speed at 187, the flap 1 speed. That should bring us back onto profile once the aircraft slowed down. Do the approach checks. The VOR tuned, but we're not using it. Our fix rings in for runway 30, and no idents required. Standbys are set, course is set as well. Approach checkness is done. Yeah, I'll go to Wasat now. I was just delaying it for a little bit there. Let's go LNAV. Go flat 5, bug 180.
Final approach speed, please.
Final approach speed at Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha.
So 3 Kilo Alpha.
Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, reduce speed 180 knots. descend and maintain 3000.
Due speed 180 knots, descend, maintain 3000 feet. Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. Looking good, guys. Very nice approach so far. Nice to fly. And I'll have approach for a change as well. LNAV, Captain. I was delaying it slightly, genuinely. I just wanted to make sure the spacing was good. But I do often forget things. You are my eyes and ears. So there's the VNAV profile. We'll go back into VNAV. I'm going to open the speed window as well. We'll add a little bit of thrust, but we'll take it today.
American 109, expect late landing clearance winds 240 at 7 knots.
So make sure when you're flying an on-position approach in VNAV, you have the correct QNH set. That is so important. Is your resolution 1080p sorting? It is, yes. So brief level segment, that's VNAV leveling off, which it does on an approach. When it's in the approach logic, it doesn't descend at 1000 feet per minute. And then it will recapture the profile, which it is now. And then it will start descending.
Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, cleared out of approach on a 30. Maintain 3000 until established number 4, final speed.
And cleared out of approach runway 30. And just confirm reduce now to our final approach speed.
When able.
Wilco. Yeah, it's a bit too early to drop it all here, but yeah, we'll keep.
Alpaca 2
Just keep an eye on the spacing here. And we see him.
Left 060
There he is, look! Awesome, yeah, he's a little tight. Has he dropped his gear already? I hope he hasn't. We'll just keep an eye on it. You guys know I like to configure quite late as per my operator's SOPs, but yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that distance there. We're doing 160 to be fair. I think we'll be okay.
Alpaca 29, exit right when able to taxi again via Alpha.
Peter, will you check the cross-track error? I will, just for you. There we are. So, cross-check error after the final approach fix must be no more than half the RMP, so 0.15. 0.3 is the required RMP. So, established on final, we can descend with the procedure, cleared approach. So, from Wasat, Avril, we can descend to 2000.
Maintain that altitude for now, please.
Lawrence watched a real live 737 video today and a pilot disconnects the autopilot by clicking the thrust button loads of times. Yeah, so you got the autopilot disconnect and the autothrottle disconnect. You only need to do it twice. One to cancel it, again to silence it, both of them. Pilot, I used to, but a lot of guys get in the habit of just pressing it multiple times. It's a bad habit, really. You don't need to. I just press it once to disconnect it and a second one to cancel the alarm. But that's it. Right, we're established now. Let's turn the music off. I'm going to go flap 10 here. You can see the speed's just... Yeah, let's go flap 10 just to stop the speed running away. Be a bit conservative today. RNAV approach is looking good. So remember, Avril's the final approach fix. Avril. So at my operator, the pilot monitoring will call approximately 2 miles before Avril. Now remember, this is the VOR DME distance. Do not use this for an RNAV approach where everything's based off of this distance.
Airplane 119 flight heading 150.
What an awesome approach. Be nice to see how this looks in Microsoft Flight Simulator for our little GA staunt.
1,000 to go.
Check. Water looks great. So there's 2 miles to go, so we're going to set our minimums plus, rounded up, so 390 plus 40, then we can only set 500 feet. So what we do is set 500 feet, verify we have the FMA VNAV path, and that the speed window is open.
2,500.
That's checked. The traffic is 5 miles ahead, so that's okay. Oh, and he's going around as well. Oh no, got it.
Going around about 3 kilometers and confirm 2,000 feet.
A-frame.
Bye-bye. That's great for us. Right, so here's the final approach fix. Very important at this stage here. Check the 2 altimeters matching. Cross-check error is 0, so that's the distance from the magenta line. And we need to be doing no more than a Oh, so landing gate 1,000 feet per minute. It's all looking good. The only thing we have left to do is set the missed approach altitude, which we do at 1,000 feet AGL. And we'll start configuring. Again, this is why we use the RNAV approach. Look at the difference. Well, it's the same actually. Look, 4.8. It's a slight difference. That's just lucky. But we'll start configuring now. Gear down. Flat 15. Match speed. To the landing checklist now. I think that was for me. Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. Sorry. Clear to land.
Affirm winds 2407 knots.
Clear to land. Runway 30 Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha. So start switch is continuous. Recall check. Speed brake arm. Green light. Landing gear down. 3 green. Water brake is set to 3. And now selecting flat 30. Top of the white bar here. That represents 1,000 feet AGL. So at that point we need to set the missed approach altitude, which is climbing left turn to 3,000 feet. So 3,000 feet set. And that's it, clear to land, check's complete. And guys, what we're going to do is disconnect now. Give me all the luck I need. Right, disconnecting autopilot. So look, one push, and then another push to cancel the light. Well, it doesn't work on mine. Now, on an RNAV approach like this, where it's straight in, you don't need to recycle the flight directives if the guidance is good. Certain RNAV approaches or non-precision approaches, let's say they're offset, or perhaps they have a missed approach point coded in the FMC. The flight directives, if that's the case, will start leveling off, so you need to recycle them. But in this case, you can actually use the guidance to help you out. Checked, so fully stabilised, tad high, so keep descending. Continue. So 3 whites, tad high. Just doing around 1,000 feet. That's a little bit excessive rate of descent there. Slight crosswind from the left, just keep it descending. Get high again. Checked. Back on profile.
100.
Check.
50. 40.
Check.
30,
Close.
10.
Oh, the attitude. Oh, not a butter today though. Great landing though, we'll take it. Right, speed brakes up. Oh, you guys in chat will say, oh, no butter now. Standards are high, but very nicely in the touchdown though. Right, speed brakes up, reverses, 100 knots, manual braking, 80 knots.
Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha, Montego, direct Avril.
And 60 knots, side reverse. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the first time to Jamaica, to Kingston. Right, slowly speed brake. A little bit faster that turn. I thought it was a bit more of a high speed there, but we made it. Ouch, look at you lot. I set such high standards now. What a lovely flight that was. And we'll take the next right.
Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, welcome to Mali. Taxi gate via Alpha, remain on this frequency.
Taxi gates via Alpha, main on frequency Alpaca 18 Juliet Alpha, thank you.
No problem.
Great. So I hope this guy, he provided ATC for the entire sector.
50,
Really
40,
cool.
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Peter Thompson, for the $5. Very kind of you.
I don't like flight deck to sim, I love it.
Thank you so much, Peter Thompson. He doesn't like flight deck sim. He absolutely loves it. So cool. Thanks, man. What an awesome flight. I really enjoyed that one. Great work. And that's very unusual for me, because what I at least like to do is do a test sector in the mod, especially if it's new, and it's worked flawlessly. Well, apart from the VNAV. What am I doing there? Apart from the VNAV not working properly, but yeah, the approach and VNAV worked beautifully for the RNAV approach, so that was fine. I'm sure, you know, ZIBO is incredible at fixing those sort of things. For some reason that said 200 knots as well. That's incorrect. But yeah, it was good to test, and that's why we test these sort of things to make sure they're working for you guys when you check them out. So would I recommend grabbing this one? Yeah, I think so. It just seems at high points there, a high approach top ascent point there. It wasn't working. Oh look, someone's in Ferrari in Jamaica. Ancelotti, you were the worst. Outrageous. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, and the pressurization failure. Yeah, okay, maybe hold off on this version for a short while. Yeah, ignore everything I said. So long as you don't fly above 10,000 feet, you'll be fine. Thanks, Finn, for tidying it up. Awesome. Yeah, this scenery guys, completely free from the forum. I can't remember who made it, but you can see in the video description below who made it, and also if you use the command !scenery, so if you want to grab it, completely free to download, just whacked it in the custom scenery folder, works fine on top of the ortho. Lovely. Cheers, Finn. So I think that's a little static aircraft, but that's of course a Alpaca Airways aircraft. Stand 03, so what I'll try and do is when I start up Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'll try and fire up on this stand in the Cessna, a bit unrealistic. I will say thanks to this guy, because I think this guy, I'm not 100% sure, but I probably came on to provide ATC for the stream, but if he has done, that was very kind of him. There we are. 7-3, there's no guidance unfortunately, so we'll pop my head out the window here. Oh, a little bit off the nose, off the line there. We won't complain. Might have to put those on steady, there we are. So APU's available on the bus, 2 blues and 1 red, engines are dead. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kingston in Jamaica. Don't you have to wait until 20% N2 before turning the anti-collision light off, but I always do it in the sim nice and early. Let's have a little look outside, turn those volumes back up. There we are, we can hear the engine spool down. Unfortunately it's a static jetway on this scenery, but don't really mind at all. Very, very good. Oh, Morov, check if it was an X-plane failure or was it just ZIBO. I'll have a look at that. Yeah, because we're not 100% sure. I've never seen that, but my goodness, how lucky was that we were below 10,000 feet? I mean, you think about the amount of time you spend in the cruise compared to, say, takeoff and climb all the time below 10,000 feet. It's only about 5-10% of the time. So, very lucky there. Anti-Teal says, welcome to Jamaica, Mon. Thank you very much. Louis, how do you get drug tested? That's funny enough, someone asked me that the other day, one of my friends. About, I've been tested once, I've actually taken, no, twice, I've actually been breathalyzed, random breathalization from the police, completely said it was a spot check, and once my operator do drug checks, they take a sample of hair. So, yeah, it has happened a couple of times. Nothing to see here, absolutely. Let's have a look at some of the comments. I just want to see what you said about the landing. Thanks a lot, Peter Dobson. Yeah, lots of no butter emojis, and it was like, it was perfect. You guys are so expectant of the butter. Very cool. Of course. You might get a drug test after that stopover, maybe. Oh dear, no comment on that one. I do play some reggae music, go to the bar and see what we can find. Awesome. Right, what I will do is just say thanks to this guy, just run the ATC, and we'll log off, do the replay, and guys, we're only halfway, well, bit beyond the halfway point of the stream, so the next flight's only about 45 minutes, but yeah, it's been great fun so far.
Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha, taxi center for choice via Alpha, good day.
Taxi via Alpha, Alpaca 3 Kilo Alpha, good day.
At Kingston Centre, Alpaca 182 Alpha. Thanks a lot for the ATC this evening. Have a great day.
Hey, no problem, man. That was good to see you. Have a good day.
Cheers, buddy. Awesome.
Cheers.
There we are, disconnected off the network. So yeah, guys, as I was saying, that's the first part of the stream there. Lovely, enjoyable flight in the ZIBO Mod 737. We'll be back in it again very soon. Well, for Cross the Pond, that'll be the next time we're flying this aircraft from undisclosed departure point yet, which I'm not going to say just now. But yeah, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe as well to stay up to date with the content. We'll do the replay and then we'll complete the next flight to the other end of the island from Kingston to, I keep forgetting it, I've written it down on my piece of clipping paper, Montego Bay. I need to write that down because I'll keep forgetting it, but wicked. I'll turn off the Sim Toolkit Pro and Q. Actually not Q just yet because I need to turn this one off. There we are. Q. Where is it? The funky music. There we are. Not an X-plane. Last time I was in it, it crashed. Thank you very much for not doing that today. Right, let's have a look at that great landing. Inverted commas. A little bit of a crosswind today. Oh yeah, we'll check that failure as well. Can't keep using very... Oh, there's a warship there. Yeah, a little bit more of a crab than he is. That was fine. So coming in there, the touchdown zone marker seemed a bit early. It should be about there. It should be at about 300 metres. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Centre line, perfect. Do one more. Well, landing should be like... I know Andy M71. I've been doing too many floats and buttons recently. That delivery is so wicked. Alright, well, what I'm just going to do is quickly end the replay because I wanted to see the settings. Can someone tell me how we check for failures? Which I cannot remember at all. How you check for what the failure was and explain that because I can't remember. I know there's a way of doing it. It would be really interesting to know if it was a ZIBO mod thing or an Explain 11 because I did turn on random failures again to spice it up slightly. Quasimodo, nothing wrong with some positive ground contact, I know. Tub of margarine fell off the fridge last week. Flight at the top. Hit the I key. Hit the flight setup. Configuration. Press the I to click failures. Oh, no failed systems. Is that pretty... I'm pretty sure that's where it would display, isn't it, if I had an issue there? Flight configuration. Is it down at the bottom here? No. Can't remember. There it is. Systems. I mean, it would come up, wouldn't it, as a failure, I'm pretty sure. My instruments will be systems. Controls, no. Equipment, no. Does ZIBO use his own? I'll try the ZIBO tab, because I'm pretty sure the tab in ZIBO mod, because I'm pretty sure that would display there. None. Well. The mystery will continue for another day, guys. I don't know, but it's probably a way I've not found out what it is. But we'll do one more landing anyway from the window view, so you can enjoy that. And I guess I'll never get down to the bottom of what caused that, but at least it was below 10,000 feet, all working fine. Guys, stay tuned. I'm going to go take a quick 10-minute break anyway, and then as soon as we've landed, taxied off, I'll shut Explain 11 down, and then I'll relaunch Microsoft Flight Simulator, same airport, same stand, and then we'll go and fly. Oh my god, why have I not written this down? Montego Bay, let me write this down, I keep forgetting. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you all in about 10 minutes. Cheers.
brought levity to each other's lives. But there's a lot more to life than that, and I realized that in these last few years. And we just became very different people. And so we had nothing in common overnight. It's very strange, but that happens.
Well, guys, thank you very much all for your patience there. Back into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, basically, what I was doing there was taking so long. I was getting some of the members here. I'm not on the public flight here because I didn't want anyone to jump into a jumbo or something silly and be like the chaos that they usually are on a public one there. So I basically sent an invite to everyone that was online who's a member there. So hopefully you'll all have got that to join. So yeah, we're going to kick off from where we left off, really. Start off in Kingston, flying over to Montego Bay. I'm going to follow the actual Cessna 172 checklist as well, which, of course, I forgot to get out prior to starting the blabber on, but so be it. I think I'll just try and do it by memory. That always happens, but I think I know where it is, which is upstairs, unfortunately, and I just want to crack on here with the flight. So, we'll take the Cessna 172 steam gauge, non-G1000 fuel. Let's take a full tank of gas, which is set, and that's closed. I'm going to start off in Montego, Kingston, which is Mike Kilo Juliet Papa. There we are. Flying conditions lightning. Well, look at that, might come as much lightning there. So group only, air traffic off, live weather and live time. Okay, so let's close that. Now, what was that? What was that stand number we parked on for a bit of a laugh? I can't remember now. Can someone else remind me what the stand number was whilst that's going on? I'm going to put here the arrival airport, which is Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra. 40 minutes, nice. Stand 3, thanks guys. Is that parking 3 or gate 3? I guess gate 3. I don't have the option. Well, maybe I can zoom in a lot and try and find it. Ugh. Well, that's a pain, because where it says runway 30, you can't actually see. Oh, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go to the parking area. Set as departure. Runway 25, I'll leave that as it is, and that should start the sim now with the engines off. I'm just going to go direct GPS, but I'll show you on Navigraph charts the route we're going to take, and we'll press fly now. Stall speed of a Cessna 172S with flaps extended is 40 knots. That's slow. It was 31. Stand 3, 31.
50. 40,
thank you very much to
30,
Tim, one of my members, for the
10.
£3. Very kind of you, Tim. No need at all, as we've said already. Just all I ever want is you to be here in the stream, so thank you very much. And that's a message to all my members as well, as I stress. You already do so much for me already, so just enjoy the show, and thank you very much, Tim. That's kind nonetheless. So yeah, thank goodness I updated Microsoft Flight Simulator just before the stream. That was a bit annoying, and I delayed there. And then the problem was just trying to get everyone invited in on the members as well, which took a bit of time. Haven't updated Microsoft Flight Simulator in a while. It's got a 9.37 gigabyte update. That's not too bad. This update was about 900 meg, I think, or 1 gig. Didn't take too long at all. I updated my Call of Duty last night. That was about an 80 gig update. That's a big update. Right. So this is where we were in the ZIBO mod. It'll be really interesting to compare. Looks very similar already. So ready to fly. We're completely cold and dark here. I just need to turn my Xbox controller as well, so there might be a little bit of a delay in the sim whilst that fires up. Got to get used to all the buttons now as well. There we are. So we've got some of the other members here already. Finley. Let's showcase this as well. The multiplayer in this is really something quite special. I really like how it reacts. All the aircraft react and stuff like that. Well, now my Xbox controller isn't working. Okay, great. Well, I would love to show you the showcase views, but my Xbox controller is... Oh, look, it's not even working. There we are. Now it's working. I think it's because I unplugged it there. But yeah, we've got a few of the other guys joining us on the flight here now. Just out of curiosity, I just wanted to see how the airport looked like. This is obviously a custom airport. A stock airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator. A non-custom airport. So it'd just be interesting to compare. I mean, obviously... Yes, I think it's Well, that's where I think where I stand. Was that where I parked? No, I parked here. It's where there's a 320neo. I mean, yeah, I think the stock airports obviously look a little bit better, but the scenery, obviously, it's all based off clever, intelligent stuff. At least the weather, it's not as cloudy as it was in X-Plane. There was a few clouds, but we are live weather in the sim. But yeah, looks fantastic, as you can imagine. Really cool. So yeah, flight time about 40 minutes. We're going to jump into the cockpit now. There we go. And here comes the cockpit. There we go. So let's fire up Navicharts 2. So I've not touched anything yet. You can still see our previous sector here. So let's unload this, or clear route. Yes. Flights. Unload. And then we're just going to go flights. New flight. Manual input. We're just going to go from Mike Kilo Juliet Papa to Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra. Create. And there we are. You can see here's a departure, and it's an airway that takes us all the way there at above 5,000 feet. So we're going to follow this airway off the Kingston VOR. The radial's 304. And then we'll just, once we get closer, route inbound to the VOR at Sangster. We might fly a precision approach of some sort, so an ILS or a procedural approach there. We'll see what's gone on. But yeah, this is an updated version of the sim. Not even tried it. Now, I've left my checklist upstairs, but we'll try and do it by memory. So we'll pop the battery and the alternator on. All avionics will leave until after the engines start. Pop the beacon on, because we're about to start the engines, nav lights as well. Hopefully they fixed the ammeter. That actually should be showing a discharge, so they still probably haven't fixed that. Full tank of fuel. Fuel cocks on both. I think that needs to be in. That's it, really. It's so used to checking so much more stuff, but we'll take that. Check rudder curve after last update. Okay, I'll have a quick look at my rudders now. I mean, if it's working correctly. I mean, I've got rudders. It feels like they might have turned it down a bit, but we'll see how we get on. Right, I think that'll do for us. Let's start the engines. Clear prop. There we are. Spat to life. Straight up to 1200 RPM. Ooh, is my parking brake set? It isn't. Might pop on the avionics. You can hear the other guys starting their engines as well. That's so cool. Finn's got his engines running. Don't know who the other guy is. Oh! Sim having a little bit of a stutter there. Berlin Flight's got his engine started as well. So 1200 RPM is set. Pressure's in the green. Just about. Temperature's rising slowly. That's a line there. Heading cards. We've got 131. Let's go for 131 there. That's better. Runway heading. I think it was 305 if I remember rightly. Oh, is that the autopilot turning on? I hope not. Turn on the transponder as well. Now squawk 7,000, that's fine. Yeah, we'll go a flaps up departure, so we're all ready to go. We'll now taxi to all point runway 30. Oh, I need to actually do this by hand. Parking brake released, and let's go to Montego Bay. I've actually wrote it down so I don't forget. So I'm guessing this way. A bit disorientated here, but looks like I have no clue where we're parked, but I think it's this way for the runway. And we'll do the power checks at the threshold of runway 30. Looking good. Oh yeah, they've... Oh! I mean, I'm going a bit fast to be fair for the rudder, but seem to be a bit delayed turning there. Love the little creaking sounds. There they come, look. And here's the whole point for runway 30. Pajorg is planing. Alright, cool. So yeah, flight time about 40 minutes. We'll have a look at over Jamaica. I'm sure some of you will know a lot more about Jamaica than I do. But yeah, nice straight line to fly at least, and we'll get the VORs tuned as well for departure as well. Well, the GPS is just routing direct to Montego Bay. So I think there's a slight... Yeah, there's a displace... sorry, you have to backtrack 4 legs, but yeah, we're not in a 7.3 so, or a jumbo, so we don't need to worry about backtracking. We'll just go straight from Alpha. Right. So let's bring it to a stop here. Should be into wind a little bit for the power checks, but imagine we are. Parking brake set, right. So, looking good. Just reset the altimeter. And I just want to get that nav aid tuned for departure, which was 15.5. So fly outbound on the 304 radial. So 15.5. Make that active. There we go. We're on nav already, and that radial was the 304 radial. There we go. We'll make the frequency active. Cool. So it's already identified. Right. Let's do the power checks now. So parking brake set. Should be about 1200, but we'll go straight up to 1700. There we are. 1700 RPM. Check the mags. Good. I think they've increased the RPM drops there slightly, what it was before. Well, to be fair, I did it in the 150, not the 172. Yeah, the aircraft doing the power checks in the background. They're so cool. There's no mixture on this, is there? Sorry, no carburetor. It's fuel injected, so don't have to worry about that. And T's and P's in the green as well. Go to idle. Make sure the engine doesn't cut off. There we go, back to 1200. Right, so offline, well, online, group flight, no ATC, but we're all ready to go. Imagine I've got a takeoff clearance as well. So what we're going to do, guys, we'll take off runway 30 here, and then we're going to climb straight ahead. Let's go up to 1,000 feet, then we'll make a right turn to intercept that radial outbound 304, and then we'll climb to 5,000 feet, which is the minimum altitude for the airway, and that should hopefully keep us away from terrain where we'll be flying over. Not so sure, but I can make reference to that map in the world map view anyway. Right, so let's close that off. I'll do this in the background here and this in the background here. Let's release the brakes and we'll line up. Yeah, I think the rudder's not as sensitive as it was before, but that's probably a good thing. It feels a bit better now. Well, it's better than not having 747s and business jets and whatnot above us. Are we going to do a formation takeoff? Or are they waiting patiently? I think they're waiting patiently. Right, we'll take off as well. Love the pappies, they look so good. Right, we'll go full power. We'll just take off the left-hand side of the runway. So feeding in that right rudder. Airspeed's rising. Rotate at 50 knots again like the 150. There's 50 knots, rotate, airborne. Get the speed back to 65 knots. There we are, pitch up and trim. There's a bug flying around in front of me, it's really annoying. Lovely. There we are, they're all taking off behind. Lovely. So the radial's already saying, yep, fly right, so just fine tune that slightly. That's probably more like it. 305 here. So we're going to climb at 65, 70 knots until 1,000 feet, and then we'll make a turn en route. Just having a look on the world map, see where we're flying. So we're going to be going over Spanish Town, Brandon Hill. I'll show you guys. Spanish Town. Next, Ludi Vale, Brandon Hill, Large Park Forest here, Albert Town, Sherwood Content, and then we'll fly the approach into here. I have no idea about Montego Bay, but we'll have a look at some charts later on. Wicked. And then little bit. Look at that, I'm meant to be climbing a runway heading. I've drifted off there. So there's 1,000 feet. We'll make that turn en route now. So remember, it's that 304 radial we want, so we'll go on a heading of about 330. There we go. There's Finn, bird of flight, plainly. And Matt's playing catch-up, I think. I did invite a few more people there, so I don't know if the server's issues or anything like that, but when I logged on it said I was offline and I had to re-log back in again. It seems to be working. Right, there comes the radial. So, don't know what the wind is here actually, so the great thing is I can actually have an indication of my track here, so I don't actually need to know the drift. It's a great beauty of having GPS. So I want to fly a track of 305. Can actually then work out a drift that way. So there's 305, wings level, pretty much no wind. Look, match the heading, it's about 304 degrees, about 2 degrees of drift. So yeah, I'm using this figure here, the track. And there we are, we'll climb at 70 knots. Temperature's rising, pressure's in the green, a bit low, fuel flows as it would be. I didn't have a fuel flow gauge on my Cessna. Good, and that should take 53 minutes at this speed. Obviously we'll accelerate in the cruise, so I'll probably say it'll be about 40 minutes flight time. That's a good point. Does Sim Toolkit Pro work for Microsoft Flight Simulator? I've not even tried it. It'd be quite cool if I can get the flight information on the top of the screen for you. Are you going to Ibiza? Not today. We're going to Montego Bay. Why can't I remember this? There's 2,000 feet anyway. Track's off a little bit there, so get back onto that track at 305. There we go. 306 to get back onto course. There we are, look. Nice little formation here.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Andy M71, for the 5. It's very kind of you, buddy.
I got the invite but then instantly had a sim crash, so lost it. I'll settle for watching.
Oh, Andy M71, I'm really sorry to hear that. I don't think you should settle for watching. Are we flying over any airfields? I don't know. There's no en route airfields. I'm having a look here, unfortunately. I mean, if you wanted to find another airfield and spawn nearby, or perhaps spawn in at Montego Bay and then meet us halfway, I don't mind. Come join us. Come join us. Spawn in Montego Bay on the Cessna, take off, and then do a 180. Just try not to do a head-on collision. There you go. Thanks a lot anyway, Andy M71. Right, up to 2,500 feet. There is Kingston. I don't know what some airport that is. Is that on reclaimed land, I wonder? There's Finn in the Bonanza. I actually haven't flown the Bonanza, but because I used to fly the Cessna, I sort of have some sort of recollection of how to fly it. Get that track back in order. We're back on it now, so we just need to fly that track of 305. Now 15, are we allowed to swim with this part of the Mediterranean? I know it's not the Mediterranean. Got my I's and T's crossed earlier. Oh, sorry, getting a great view of Navigraph. Whoops. Of course, Andy, yeah, I would, but I'm not in the group flight. Ah, of course. I don't know if it's possible for me to do it whilst flying along as well. Think about that. I'm losing RPM here, so I think that mixture back is slightly. Yeah, a bit more power. Oh, they're struggling in their Cessnas. They'll catch up as soon as we get to the cruise, so I'll bring the power back. It's one of the things that you can do in the climb in the Cessna. It's a bit of a bad habit more than anything, but if you got your hands off the control, you can actually use rudder to turn the aircraft. To the secondary effect of yaw is roll, so if you actually... Look, my heading's fine, but if I don't want to do a slight right turn, if I put a little bit of right rudder in, look, the aircraft will yaw to the right, but then it will roll. So you can actually take your hands off the controls very briefly. Left rudder, look, turn, roll left. Using the secondary effects of yaw there. Romulus, I'm lagging a bit, as Tompkins says, more power. As soon as you get a 5,000, I'll set cruise power, and I'll dawdle along around 900 knots. So if you go full power, you should catch up quite quickly. Awesome. It's only 1,000 feet to go. Without climbing in that bonanza, much more power, and with the gear up. So cool. Gonna give us a little wing wave fin. See how much lag there is if he's listening into the stream. There we go, look. Look at the lag, it's like about 6-7 seconds of latency. Amazing. More lag. That reminds me of Aerotow gliding, that view. Amazing. Inverted click, are you still flying with your operator even with the new lockdown rules? I am inverted click. I'm part-time now though. We all are at, in our UK sort of bases and stuff, so very fortunate just to keep my job, and flying about once a month at the moment. The winter it would be quieter, but I'd expect to fly, well, yeah, half the hours of summer still. It is a sign of the times. FYZK, how's the overall realism of Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 in your opinion for this stuff? I think it's perfect. I think it's really nice. Like I was saying, look, secondary effects of your roll, models, yeah, I think it's great. Just need a nice big realistic jet. Boxing the wake, Tom Bulldog, is that a gliding reference? I can vaguely remember that. I remember a guy showing me like, here's in the wake turbines, you used to fly in this position, you can fly left or right. Yeah, this is all a long time ago for me. Right, there's 5,000 feet. So remember when you're levelling off in a light aircraft attitude, let the aircraft accelerate. Next will be power, and then trim. Often you're having to ride the stall horn to keep up with you. I'm going at better speed now. And there we are, still around 2300 RPM. Trim. The other guys will catch up now quickly. Tim, you were lucky enough to fly into Sangster in May 2007. We stayed in Oco Rios. Awesome. You know what, I might cheat now. I'm going to stick the autopilot in. I've been hand flying around this aircraft for so long, so I didn't take this in more than 50 so I could cheat. Right, let's see if it doesn't try and kill me first. I think it's in. It is. In fact, I can probably even engage. No, not 5,100, 5,000 nav. And it should follow the VOR radial. There we are. No, not 5,100, 5,000. There we go. Now, so around 2,300 RPM. It's giving me about 100 knots. The other guys are catching up now. 30 minutes. Nice little short sector. Let's have a look where we are. So nicely on the Alpha 511 airway. It's got multiple names. So there's a bog walk off to our right hand side. There you go, guys. You're looking down at bog walk there. They've reset all the views for some reason there. There is bog walk. Look here on the map, we're coming up to a little village called Luidas Valley. That'll be the next landmark we'll fly over. We'll see how that looks on the maps. Yeah, this is just how the Cessna 172 was. About 2300 RPM, used to sit quite nicely between 95 and 100 knots. Usually, if you had the wheel guards off, these give you an outer extra 2 to 3 knots with cruise power. I vaguely remember someone telling me. Why is it climbing? Why is it 5,100? That's really triggering me. I didn't have autopilot on my Cessna. I have no idea how to get this into vertical speed. There we go. What? No. There we are. Oof, that's aggressive. Just need to remember to select altitude when we get to 5,000. Keeps reverting to that though. I think that's got it now. There we go. There's Matt Fender, one of the members. What the world? Lost a bit of power there. But yeah, 2300 RPM in the 150. Oh, really nice. Tom board up. Mixture set for peak RPM on tachometer, then rich and a little. I remember this. So yeah, let's go full rich. Just to, so yeah, you can see, look, hardly any power. I think that's a bit exaggerated. Let's lean it out. And then wait for the RPM to drop, isn't it, by about 50? Just going to push that back in a bit. So, getting better. There's the RPM dropping about 50. So then 29, that seems quite far back. And then we just enrich them slightly. I think that's roughly there, but is that actually affecting the EGT? Yeah, look at the fuel flow change as well. Look, it's directly I'll just cut the engine though. Oh, come on. Yeah, look at the fuel flow move with the mixture. That's not that realistic. It's like directly linked. But the EGT looks a bit cold. There's peak RPM. On the rich side. Yeah, I don't think the EGT gauge is messing around. There's Finn doing a fly past. At least it's a 5,000 feet. Yeah, I know, a little bit. I went to idle cut off. That's why it stuttered a little bit there. Oh, hold on. My village we're about to fly over is coming up. I don't want to miss this. There is our Luidas Vale. Let's have a look at see what that looks like. There it is. Luidas Vale. That's what I love about Microsoft Flight Simulator. The world is there. There's Pjoberg, and he's put his gear up, but I think that's just the model matching. There's Berlin Flight, Matt Fender. Beautiful formation. There's Finley just trying to catch up. And there's Plainly as well in the distance. Wicked guys. It's a shame they don't have a flyby view yet. sim is awesome for GA. Absolutely wicked. Alpaca Air Force Quinarius are ahead of our Air Force Fleet Cessna 150s. So 25 minutes to go. Lovely sector length, really. I'll try and do some more of these split sim streams. I'm not going to do them all the time. I'll predominantly do airline, Explain 11.
50,
but we'll
40,
look for
30,
other options for
20,
sectors like this. Nice little
10.
45-minute hops afterwards. Thanks a lot, Row Feeder Rashhead, for the £1 donation. Hi Captain, what is the plugin used for controlling the volume in X-Plane Sim? Thanks for your commitment to stream. You're most welcome, Rafid Rashid. I'm a lot of free time at the moment, so I'm doing many more streams than I usually would, so thank you very much. It's called B2 Volume Control, Rafida Rashid. It's a great little utility, especially for streaming, because it directly manipulates the X-Plane volume controls in the settings in-game. So B2 Volume Control, that's what it's called. And go grab that and enjoy. Thanks a lot, buddy. Tim, he said, fly over the Blue Mountains. I don't know where that is, buddy. Captain, you forgot the Frida checks. Fuel, right, is sufficient. Radio's set. We're following the 304 radial outbound from Kingston. And altimeter QNH is set. Engine, T's and P's in the green. We've leaned the mixture. Carburetor heat check for ISO, but it's fuel injected. I'm not in my little air carburetor powered Lycoming Cessna. What else is it? Directional gyro, very good. 305, 305. What's the last A? I can't remember what the last A is now. Oh no. Thanks, Tom. Oh, Blue Mountains in New South Wales, Australia. Ah, so not in not in Jamaica then. There's Plainly. Love this. I can just look out the window. I mean, that looks so realistic. Can't get the back seat, unfortunately. I think you want to hear pilot command view light aircraft say. Who else we got around? Yeah, so that's the reason I'm not online, guys. These guys who are members of my channel, if I was online now, we'd have jumbo jets flying upside down. We'd have aircraft trying to fly in front of me. These guys are just like in for a really cool group flight. Absolutely awesome. Is anti-ice the last day? There's no anti-ice. Well, it's some like aircraft there are, but not in this one. I can't remember what it is. There's Matt Fender zooming off. Your yoke fell off. Thanks, Dan. Actually, is that? No, it's not the Dan. I know a Dan Chief, but it's not who I think it is. There you go. I'll put it back in. There is a Blue Mountain over Kingston. Blue Mountain is over Kingston, too far from where he is flying now. Ah, so there is somewhere there called Tim. Cool. Ruben Leroy can't get in the back seat. Pilot of the year. Burkhar's like, can we get a demo team for the Alpaca Air Force? Could do. A is for altitude. Oh, of course it is. My goodness. My goodness. What I think the guys should do is try and look at. I think you should do what Finley's doing. Form up in a nice formation, one behind the other, staggered like that. I think that'd be really cool if you can pull that one off, guys. I'll give you a minute to organise that. I knew I should have picked something a bit faster than 172. I know Finn got it right. Sat quite nicely here at 5,000 feet. Wicked. What's here then? Yeah, next stream. Well, cross the pond on Saturday. Oh my gaze. Cross the pond on Saturday, but on Thursday we'll jump back into the A300 again. And that'll be pretty cool. There you go, Matt's forming up on the wing. And what I'm thinking of doing, guys, is going to the Faroe Islands again. We have been there once before, one of my earliest streams, but I thought it'd be really cool to try a non-precision approach in the A300 using the profile mode. And the Faroe Islands is cool because it's a really tiny, narrow runway in the middle of nowhere. So that's what I was thinking. Somewhere probably from Norway or UK into the Faroe Islands. How's that formation going? Well, Finn's still there. Matt Fender's forming up quite nice. I think Berlin flight's going flat out. What I might do, I'll drop the RPM slightly. I'll do about 95 knots. Power back slightly. That's really close, Finn. Really nice. I'll screenshot that one, I think. So there really isn't much here now. If I bring up the geographic map, you can see there's a large area of, I guess it's forest. Albert Town's coming up next. Sherwood Content, I don't know. There is Montego Bay. It's not densely populated at all, to be fair, Jamaica. It's a bit of cloud, I think, from the ortho mapping. Always a little bit close look because it starts going invisible. Here comes Matt. And Berlin flight as well. Wicked. Yeah, maybe I should have taken something a little faster. We started to disappear. Wicked. We could form the alpaca arrows. Oh dear. Ralphie, you've heard of the Blue Angels, but here, ladies and gentlemen, the orange alpacas. Orange? Commander, if we have a Blue Mountain in Jacksonville, Kingston, that has the famous coffee beans. I'm not a big coffee drinker though, so I'm not sure if I'd enjoy it. Thanks a lot again, Tim. Oh my goodness, Tim. Just drop the message in here. You don't need to ping a donation each time. Very kind, though. 80 degrees, 11 minutes
50,
north, 77
40,
degrees, 8 minutes
30,
west. The Blue Mountain.
20,
I think it's a bit too
10.
far by course, but I'll be sure to check it out. Have you got Microsoft Flight Simulator yet, Tim? Because if you want to get that, it's great for GA. Flying over lots of places you've been to. I mean, the world is there. It's great fun. All these little towns and villages. There's even a car on the road there, look. I'm not sure what this Microsoft Flight Simulator update's done. I literally just updated it just before the stream. Matter of fact, it's switching to bring up the ring. Oh, are we going for the triangle or the diamond, are we? Oh, we're going for the diamond formation. Yes, love it. It's so cool. I'll check outside in about a minute. Burcastle, can you do a bush pilot stream someday? If it can be done in Flight Sim 2020, it would be dope to see a takeoff landing in a grass landing strip. Yeah, I'll have a look at that, Burke. I know they've got some bush trips included with Microsoft Flight Simulator, which are done over multiple legs, but they're about 8 hours long. I might do the next public one. Well, the public ones will do, but they are good fun and a nice way of letting off steam, but it is just complete carnage. You've got guys in jumbos, Airbuses, doing all sorts of stuff, so I'll take a screenshot of that one. So yeah, I'll have a look at that. Maybe I'll do that offline or something, but there might be some really cool places to visit, perhaps in North America or other parts of the world. Tim, you don't have it, but definitely thinking of getting it. Yeah, for GA, Tim, it's a cracker. Again, right now for jets, it takes some time, but for GA stuff, it's great. Tom, Captain, a practice engine failure to take off in Montego Bay. Mixture idle cut off, fuel shut off, valve off, magnetos off, flaps as required, 70 clean. Standby battery off, master off. I've got that on my checklist, Tom. I'm going to try and do a precision approach though. See how we get on there. Canari's getting the weather for Montego Bay. Fantastic. It is 0407 knots. Few at 2,230 degrees. Wow, it's warm. QH1010. So it is set. 2020 on Carol Goss. Is this on mobile? I'm afraid not, buddy. Raycon, you should get about 5 to 10 more FPS in the new update. I mean, yeah, it's looking very smooth here on my side. This is very chill. Love it. Tim's slowly being persuaded. It is good, Tim. It is good. And what I love about Microsoft Flight Simulator, you just buy a copy. I tell you what, you don't have to worry about ortho, scenery. Oh, it's just there. I mean, even the Jamaican, I just downloaded 5 ortho tiles. I mean, yeah, you click download them, sort of. It's only about a 20-minute job, but I have to wait hours for it to download. Sometimes they don't work. I just love not having to worry about ortho tiles. I mean, it just looks so good. Well, there is Montego Bay coming up. Saying 15 minutes ETA. Finn, do you want to have a flight sim? Want to have a go flying formation, or go on then? I think I should disconnect everything and have a go, but we need more people involved. So what I'll do, I'll tell you what, Finn, if you drop down to 5,000 and slow down to around 90 knots if you can. I know it's a bit slow for you. I'll try and form up on your wing. No, that's the battery. I don't want to disconnect that. Right, there's the autopilot off. Probably put the mixture in a bit before I go full power. Tom Boulder, when do you start our 500 feet per minute descent? Well, we're at 5,000 feet, so 10 minutes to get to sea level. Flat out load, about 120. Ooh, we're gonna have to hit the brakes now. Oh, maybe cook that slightly. Listen, I just never trained on doing formation flying. I'll let you get ahead. This sort of stuff with your friends. I would have loved to have had this. Well, I'll let you lead the formation, Finn. I'll tuck up behind your wing. More power, my little 172. There we go. Slow down again. I'm idle. Finn, you must be stalling that thing. I'm at 75 knots. Closer in here. He's wagging his wings. Let's have a look at that. Quite trim here. Ooh. Oh my goodness, I think that's Microsoft Flight Simulator doing his thing. It's either that or he hit a block of air that was pretty thick. Wicked. Well, I tried. Right, get the automation back in. A little look and see what approaches are available. So roll, nav, 5,000 feet. Nav, what does that say? Arm. No one engaged. Well, that'll do. Right, let's have a look together at what approaches are available. What was that wind again? I can see you all, but you can't see me, says Romulus. Oh. I don't know why that is. Right, we're going to see what weather was doing again. MKJS. I know the charts are up, guys. Just give me 2 seconds because I'm looking for the METAR someone posted. Just see what runway would have been in use. 040 at 7. Okay, winds from the northeast. So approach. So probably runway 07. There's an ILS, a VOR. Ah, there's a VOR approach here. How far does that go out until? 11 miles. That's ages in a Cessna. That'll be 5 minutes flying in that direction, another 5 minutes outbound that way. It'll be 10 minutes to fly that full procedural approach. ILS is the same. Well, great in a 7.3, but that will take some time for us in a Cessna. What I might do is go down to 4,000. We'll start at 5,000, and I might just cut it. Then you wouldn't be flying the approach, of course, but we'll fly into the ILS that way. Otherwise, that'll be 10 minutes in that direction at this speed, about 100 knots, and then another 10 minutes in this direction. Probably 7 minutes or so. Anyway, let's tune up some of those bits on the ILS anyway. So ILS is 1095. In fact, we'll put the Sangster VR active now, 15.7. So that's going to switch over to the other VR. There we are. So inbound, making a slight turn. Oh look, it's already in nav mode, so it's making a right turn to intercept the VR. That's great. Formation overhead join VFR. Alright then, I think because we are flying VFR, and I'm sure most of you guys know how to fly the approach, what we should do is a formation VFR arrival. So that is to say that we'll fly over the airfield, enter the circuit pattern over top, and then we'll join a left-hand downwind for runway 07. How does that sound? Just need to find out what the circuit pattern is. I've already got IFR charts. Sometimes you can find the information there though. But yeah, we'll imagine the circuit pattern's 1,000 feet. How does that sound? So yeah, change of plan of action. It's a bit of a drastic heading change to intercept the VR, but it is biting it here. Who is P. Joe Romulus? I can't remember what your tag is. Is it Romulus or is that someone else? Only 5. I invited about 10 guys in there. Wicked. Oh, Sherwood Content is over on the right hand side there. Or Content, I don't know how it sounds. That's little towns down here. Oh, Pure Joke still plainly. Sorry, of course. Right, so if we want to be at 1,000 feet, and we'll descend at 500 feet per minute, we've got to lose 4,000 feet. So we need to do that at around 8 minutes from the airfield. So in a minute, we'll commence our descent at 500 feet per minute. Those windows are filthy, I know. Tom, it's 1,000 feet left-hand circuit. Oh, perfect. Well, that's fine. Overhead join, and we'll join the circuit at 1,000 feet. From overhead. That was the perfect length VFR sector. And here's the other side of the island. Wicked. You should fly the beach to see if there are any horses. Probably not modelled. Right, there we are. 8 minutes to go. Let's see if I can get this doing a 500 feet per minute descent rate. There we are. Oh my goodness, that's aggressive. Down to 500. We'll bring the power back to around 1,700. So that means we should enter the circuit at around 1,000 feet. Now, look, nice tight VFR formation. I'll try and do a circuit overhead join if I can remember how. So, Golf Foxtrot Delta Tango Sierra report ready for left base number 1. Request overhead join and we'll report left base. Golf Tango Sierra. Actually, I don't know what the registration number is or letter for Jamaica is. Waspo, Flight Deck Sim, great stream. Just finished watching the full 737 flight. Question on the 73. Just aft of starboard rear door on the 73, there's an arrow-like object built into the fuselage. What is that, please? I think that's the APU inlet door that you can see. And that moves, open and closes for the air to be entered into the APU. Tom, Captain, do you ever set up the airspeed indicator for density altitude? Might gain what seems like 3 knots. I can vaguely remember doing it in the light aircraft, but I mean, obviously in the 737 not at all. But Romulus, your tag is Romulus. I see you all, but you can't see me in the stream. I guess I never made it into the group. Well, if you can see everyone else, that 100% means you're in the group. I've had this before on another group flight where there were other people there. They could see me, but we never saw them. And I saw your name there, and I literally clicked add on everyone. That's Matt Fender. But if you can see me, I mean, look, I mean, these are the only guys I've seen the whole flight. I don't know if is there anyone else here that can see me or not seen others? So another 3,000 feet to lose, about 5 minutes away. So yeah, rate of descent's working out quite nicely. And the VOR we're flying into, I think, is right over the top of the airfield, so perfect for the overhead join. Tom, when configuring in the circuit, downwind 10, base 20, final full flaps, VFEs 110, flap 10, display 85 knots, flap 20, 30. Tom, I did last week a visual circuit tutorial for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the speeds I used were the ones I used to train with. So when we flew the 172, we used to fly 90 knots downwind, turning base, we used to select flap 10, and then turning final flap 20. We never used full flaps in the 150 and when I was in my PPR, the same in the 172, just because I think it's a higher risk and you still get plenty of lift from flap 20 as it is anyway, and we still approach at 65 knots of flap 20. I think the risk being the go around, because you have to really get those flaps up. X-Plane spotted vertical sims as cool and corrected ortho for Jamaica in X-Plane. They probably do. I don't know if this has been corrected by anyone here. I mean, it looks pretty good to me. But ortho in X-Plane can look really good as well, depending on what zoom level you have. Or whatever, if there's a corrected, I know some dedicated scenery, it probably looks very good. Right, let's squint and look ahead. Can't quite see the airport yet. Touching down in around 6 minutes. Wasp, huge thanks for your time. Great streams. Just learning 737 on X-Plane. Awesome, Wasp Zero. We'll still primarily be streaming the ZIBO mod in X-Plane for the foreseeable future. So I hope you'll pick up a thing or two from those videos as well, streams in the future. Lovely. I guess that's the airport ahead. This is all Montego Bay on the left. What's that over there? So probably descending a little bit fast. We usually have about 1800 RPM and about 90 knots. Just keeping the speed up quite nicely. hold on, can you explain the input of radio altimeter on vertical speed during an auto land? On vertical speed? I mean, they're not interlinked that way, Tom. The radio altimeter is simply a radio altimeter under the aircraft, two of them, that measures the altitude below the aircraft above the ground, so that fluctuates with terrain, but the automation's following the ILS, the approach system. I guess for the flare it might have some input, like the closure of the rate of descent might affect the flare, but that's beyond any of the manuals we have, and I'm not sure how that works. The medium, should I buy the deluxe Microsoft Flight Sim 2020? I think the stock one, it depends what you want. If you want to have fun flying the default jets, which we all know obviously a bit of fun, you can have some fun with those, I suppose, with the premium deluxe version. But I'd recommend, if you want to do stuff like this, the standard stock version would be fine. It depends what you want to do. Yeah, I know you can always upgrade as well, which is pretty cool. Right, so nicely approaching over the airfield at 1,000 feet. That rate of descent's worked out pretty much perfectly. Runway 07, so we're going to join right over the top here, all in formation for our formation circuit. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot now. We'll do our bomb fits checks. Joining overhead. I'm just going to keep it descending now. A little right turn to join right over the top of the runway. Tom, yes, boss, I was referring to the flare in Autoland. I know the Boeing trims nose up in anticipation. Ow, that's something slightly different. Yeah, 300 to 400 feet, it starts inputting some nose up trim in preparation for the Autoland, which if you then decide to go around can really catch you out. But I don't know, what is that radio altimeter height that triggers that? I don't know. But that's to aid the automation in the flare. Again, kick my cat a question beyond what we'd ever know. The radio altimeter comes on at 2500, but what's the max altitude it's accurate to? I mean, it's only used close to the ground, so I wouldn't know. I mean, I guess it automatically turns off at 2500 feet. Look at the sea this evening, lovely and calm, absolutely awesome. Sim is very nice. Right, there's 1,000 feet. I'm just trying to judge the point at which to turn downwind. I can't remember. There's 1,000 feet anyway. That'll probably do us. So 2,300 RPM. Oops, so I'm very far out now. Wasn't turning quite quick enough. Oh, I can't remember what the runway direction was. I was too busy. It's runway 07, wasn't it? There we go. It's flight 25. So I'm very far out here. Well, yeah, a little bit too far out. That's fine. Better be far out than close in. So do a quick bum fix check. So brakes working, undercarriage fixed, mixture fully rich, fuel is locked. I don't have it in front of me. I can't remember what it is. Instruments, QH set. That's set as well. All looking good. Right, so it's just that point at which to aim here. Now I'm going to delay the descent slightly because I am quite wide. Very far out, I know I am, I know. Too busy looking at chat and distracted. I think that's a good point to turn the base. So I'm going to delay that descent then. At least my altitude keeping's not so bad. So you usually would start your descent now, but because I am very wide, I'll just delay that descent slightly. I think that should do us now. So let's set 1700 RPM. Bit fast for flaps here, so I'm just going to hold altitude here, get that speed below the maximum flap speed. I think it's top of that white bar, isn't it? Oh yeah, I think it is. Right, there we go. Let's take flaps to 10. Provide. That'll do. Turning final. Bit late turning final as well. We'll take the next notch of flaps. Oh, I'm going a bit fast. Nothing to see here. Go for 65 knots. Ooh, yeah, overshot it slightly. Oh, not bad on the pappies though. 2 reds, 2 whites. But when I did my pilot's license, we actually had a much steeper approach than the standard 3-degree pappy anyway. We used to come in quite steep because I landed in quite a short airfield. Right, I'll have a quick look behind once I get lined up. See how the other guys are doing. Speed's a bit high, so I'll bring that back. Not bad. Finn's there. Berlin flight, Matt Fender. And plainly, Romulus I think is here, but we can't see him. Bring that speed back to 65 knots. Step on that rudder. Yeah, I didn't use any rudder, Tom, because to me in the 7.3 we don't make any rudder inputs. I haven't stepped on that ball. As I hear my instructor from 12 years ago, 13 years ago, step on that ball. I'll try and have a quick look behind during the flare as well. A bit high on the speed. Oh. Yeah, so if I press 1 now, it should show the replay as well. Not the replay, you can have a look backwards. And yes, I am pitching for glide slope and power for speed. Looking good, guys. Finn's probably on this stall here. Might cut the power. Flare. I'm going to have a quick look outside. Oh, Finn, that wasn't that smooth. Hold it off. Holding off. Oh, holding off. I'm gonna try and land it backwards just for fun. Oh, lovely. Oh, it's all hard. Right. We'll take the next exit on the right. I would say that's not bad. I'd say that was a buttock/great landing, as whatever the calculator would say. And we'll take the next right here. Fantastic.
50, 40, 30.
Thank you very much to £5. Oh, Alan, Story. I haven't seen you in a long time. Thank you so much, Alan. I hope you're doing very well. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan's one of my old members who joined the channel. In fact, Mara and I managed to get him all signed up on Discord. I think we managed to communicate with his daughter, I think it was. Showed him how to use Discord. He was a member. He joined the channel for a bit, and I think he stepped away for a while. But great to hear from you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. And nice to hear back from you. I'm glad you popped in for this stream, buddy. Wicked. I will take the next right. And that was a lovely little calm, relaxed flight. I hope you all enjoyed that anyway. And these split sim streams, again, let me know in the comment section below. I'm very much dictated by what people want to see, and I always listen to feedback, be it positive, even negative. You say, nah, just stick with the jet stuff at X-Plane 11, that's fine. And if a guy say, oh, I'll do some more GA flying, I will. So, but the split stream gives me the best of both worlds, because I have sort of two sort of viewers, I think. Most of the guys, I think, are the core subscribers where you want to see me flying the jets and stuff, which is what I fly in real life, and we'll always base that on that. Look at the entourage of vehicles here. My goodness. Well, why am I going full right, but it's not doing anything? There we go. So I've got the core sim base, which is what we'll always primarily base the streams on. I have a lot of guys obviously joined with Microsoft Flight Simulator who only want to see this, but I try and give the best of both worlds here. Split streams are always fun, awesome, more often. But yeah, the next two will be just X-Plane 11 jet stuff. But it was great fun to jump back into the sim today, and excellent flying from the guys that joined. He's flashing his lights as well. Unbelievable. Right, we'll clean on up. Flaps coming up. Do we never turn the landing lights on anyway, or the strobes? There's Finn. Right, start the APU. Airport staff welcoming the alpaca arrows. They can't believe it. They're finally here. Yeah, what on charge. Oh my goodness. Plainly, you seem to be tipping slightly. Check your mass and balance there. I think the customs might want to know what you've got in the rear of that aircraft. Right. Let's go find ourselves a nice little stand to park on. I don't know if this is where the GA goes, but I don't think it will matter if we park in the terminal today. It's probably a tail drag at his end, maybe, yeah. Oh. We'll park where plainly is. I'm going to go park next to him. On the self-positioning stance here. I'll go park next to this silver van. Go pay our landing fee. Straight onto the taxiway again, nothing to see. Cool. Well, sort of semi-realistic. I did some of the checks. My circuit wasn't so bad, a bit wide downwind before turning base, but very happy with that. Right. I won't do the full mag checks again, but we'll leave it at 1200 RPM for 30 seconds or so. Then you would check your mags, turn the avionics off. Nav light can come off, beacon's the last one to turn off. We'll move the mixture to idle cutoff. And it's rattled to a stop. There we are, beacon off, key to off, put it out, a few other checks, battery master off. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Finally. Can't believe we made that lovely flight over Jamaica to Montego Bay from Kingston. Really nice end of the stream from the ZIBO MOD 737, but awesome. I'll have a little look around here as well. Again, it's just a stock scenery. But yeah, I don't have the ability to do a replay, unfortunately, do the replay music, but I might play it anyway, because it always is a nice beat to the end of the stream. But here we go. Right. Well, anyway, guys, thank you very much to everyone that's joined in today's live stream. I hope you enjoyed seeing the ZIBO mod again. That version 3.44.4, I think that needs some tweaks. I'm sure ZIBO probably already have fixed it by the time I finish the stream. But keep up to eye out for an update there. A few issues with VNAV. The rapid depressurization, thankfully below 10,000 feet. Don't exactly know what caused that, but hopefully we'll get to the bottom of that anyway. Awesome. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe as well if you're new to stay up to date with the latest content. I'll see you all on Thursday for some more Airbus A300 action, and don't forget we'll be attending the Cross the Pond event on Saturday as well. And as ever, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.